Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Brust and Nordman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It's a great day to be alive on this Victory Monday. Kyle Brust and Nordman across ESPN Wisconsin. My name's Ben Brust alongside Packer backer, Packer owner. Feeling good, shaking them shoulders.
Yeah, you know, this is the greenest polo that I have. It's mint green.
Well,
for the Packers,
you
baby.
probably should get a non-mint green one and maybe get a Green Bay Packers polo as a Packers owner
It's
with
got
those great discounts you get at the pro shop.
Yeah, we don't get discounts like that. Green and white for the winter warning of the Green Bay Packers. This is my winter warning gift.
Mint green.
There are so many better shades of green than mint. Why not forest green or something like that? Even lime green.
He could have wore white as an extension of the winter warning.
Yeah, no, that would have been thinking.
I had to look good still, fellas. You know, I can't wear a T-shirt in the same zip-up every single week like y'all, so.
All right, now he's laughing out.
Seriously, just
I feel
like that?
good. What can I say?
Oh, he's got jokes, everybody. He's all happy. The Packers are 5-2. It's a Victory Monday. Brad Nordman, longtime NFL punter, Super Bowl 50 runner-up, our special teams guy, and a lot more than special teams, but you will come in handy today. That is for damn sure. Chris Larson running the show. No idea that Alex. Did you guys know Alex showed us off today?
No clue.
Nope.
No clue.
Zero.
I don't look at the schedule. I just kind of
forget the schedule. How about a text like, "Hey guys, not going to be on the show today. Would love to connect if you guys want to talk through anything, but yeah, I'll see you later."
Or even on our shared, show sheet where we put ideas in there. Usually we put in the top bracket. Hey, Ben's out, Kyle's out, Strofe's out. Nothing in there. Just completely blank. So you'd assume everyone's going to be there.
You know, I think he probably told somebody last minute because usually our, executive producer, Ashton Rotman, or our director of content, Brian D., usually they're on top of making sure something's in there. I feel like he may have told somebody last minute.
I doubt it because I knew about this last Tuesday.
Oh, good Lord.
Well, who failed us then?
Everybody. But the Packers did not fail us yesterday. The Packers are 5-2 right now. They found a way to get it done yesterday. 800-990-3776. And I was curious because I knew Alex Strofe was in Madison. Did he at least make his way onto the board, Chris? Who's running the board over the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison
Let's
studios?
find out.
Fellas, I still work on a day where I'm not in Milwaukee. Why are you slandering me like this?
What were you doing at 1 o'clock?
I was hosting Mr. Irrelevant, which you can watch
what about
Monday,
when it
Wednesday,
ended
and Friday
at 1:30?
from 12:30 to 1:30. Yeah, that's fair. It's a fair diss. Now, for the record, I emailed Ashton Rotman about this date, which is it's October 21st for anybody that's not aware. September 30th. Is when I said I would be in Madison. So
3 weeks.
The most
pretty sure I told you
energy
guys
he's
about this.
ever had on the show is when he's not actually producing the show.
I always have energy. I'm producing the show right now.
I can't tell if this is just like Victory Monday Strofe or is this like Madison Strofe?
Yeah,
there's
a weird energy right now.
As I often say, two things can be true, right? Like I'm in my own stomping grounds. I'm walking around with my chin held high.
Pot him down, Larson. I don't want to hear that voice for a little bit. You know what? We're going to make him do Becoming Relevant. Make sure you prepare that, buddy.
Good one.
800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin Talking Text line. You can see us on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. I have a weird feeling after listening to Green Bay Game Day postgame with Tausch and Homer and after the results of the game yesterday. I personally feel like the Packers are not getting enough credit for finding a way to win. I think people are saying like, hey, they found a way to win, no, guys, they lost the turnover battle by 3. And the special teams was atrocious. Jordan Love had multiple interceptions. You name it. There was a million reasons why the Packers could have lost this game. The Packers did not lose this game. They are 5-2, and you could even look to the division and say, hey, Detroit's scary. They still might be the front runner, but they helped the Green Bay Packers out in terms of this NFC North. I'm sitting here today, and I'm thinking, I still want the North. I want a 1 seed. I am coming out of this game optimistic because there are things that you can clean up, but there are also things that you can clean up while celebrating beating a quality opponent and then having a Jaguars team you face next and then a Lions team, which would be a great test. Like, why am I feeling like there's just a weird vibe about wanting to pick apart Jordan Love's performance too much instead of celebrating the 60 minutes of football where it didn't go your way the entire game and people are kind of like, yeah, it's good. No, it is good. Like, you can tell yourself it is good.
Yeah, Ben, I'm right there with you. From a player perspective, when you don't play your A game, shoot, you don't even play your B game in a lot of areas of this Green Bay Packer football team on Sunday, and you still come out with a win against a good team. That's a level of pride that is hard to describe. I think guys walk away from this feeling better about themselves, feeling better about the team. I know I do. I walk away from this Green Bay Packer victory on Sunday thinking to myself, well, hold on. They were -3 in the turnover margin. If I go to the stats, you guys know I love stats.
Give me some stats, Brad.
Historically speaking, 8% of teams win if you have a -3 turnover percentage. That means that 92% of the time, the Houston Texans should win that game, and the Packers should only win 8. But the Packers went ahead and found a way to win. Jordan Love, he looks good about 90% of the time, and then 10% of the time you're pulling your hair out. Special teams, specialists killing it, special teams giving up big plays or turning the ball over. There were so many things that went wrong in this game, but yet you still find a way to win. That is something that championship teams do. They're not going to always look pretty, but when they're not pretty and you get a win, you never apologize for it. Because you know who's a team that seems to always win ugly? And you look at the game and you say, how do they win that game? The Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are classic regular season ugly wins. Now, they go to the playoffs and they do well, but you never apologize for a loss. And the fact that they didn't play well in some areas, defense was excellent, and I'll get to that later. You walk away feeling better. And if this was let's say it's next week, right? When they're playing my Jaguars, which I think the Packers are going to stomp them.
You might want to kill the Jaguars part.
They'll always be my Jaguars. I just think the Packers are going to beat them, and that'll be. But I'm not going to say specifically because we wait on that until Friday for the game reveal.
The grand reveal.
Got to be careful with that. But listen, the long and short of it is, when you play poorly, when you're -3 turnover and you still beat a good team, that is an unbelievable quality. You have to win games like that in the NFL. So I walk away feeling much better and almost wondering when this team does fix these things, not if, but when, they are going to be a juggernaut, similar to how they ended the season last year.
Yeah, there's nothing for me to complain about. Like, obviously, there are some negatives that we can walk away from and areas of improvement overall. But in football, you have to find a way to win games. And that is exactly what this Packers team did. We saw Jordan Love do something that we haven't really seen him do. He saw multiple times last year, whether it was the Raiders or whether it was the Steelers, that Jordan Love had the ball in the end. And how did it end?
Bad.
It ended with interceptions, and then this time, though he almost threw another interception, he had an opportunity to put the Packers in a position to go down there and kick a field goal to win the ball game, and that's exactly what he did. Our football team did not play well offensively, but they still found a way to beat a very good football team. So we can sit here and we can chirp about all the bad things, but if you watch that defense yesterday and you don't come away saying, oh, okay, this is what a defense looks like. I forgot about that. Guys flying around to the football, right? Guys getting pressure in the backfield. Guys locking people down. C.J. Stroud, one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL, threw for less than 100 yards, and it wasn't because not because of his effort. It was because the Green Bay Packers brought the pressure, and the defensive backs played well enough to slow him down. There are a lot of things that we need to clean up, but more importantly, there's a lot of areas for us to be proud about because this is a football team that proved they are part of the upper echelon of teams that actually have a chance to compete for a Super Bowl. So that should be your takeaway, is that even though we probably played a B- game, we were able to still be a very good football team. So bravo to the Green Bay Packers. You were able to outplay and out-hustle and find a way to be a very good football team. This won't be the last time you hear about the Texans, but my goodness, we should feel good about these Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, I don't know why people are feeling negative about this. First of all, it's a victory, so any victory.
I'm going to let you finish that thought, and I already have the answer.
Okay, because it's already a victory. So it's hard to get wins in the NFL. So for that reason alone, you have to walk away feeling good. And when you don't play well and still win, it shows signs of the gap between your current play and what you could be. And think about the teams that you will have to beat in the future. When you get it all together, it's going to be a masterclass. And honestly, too, the things that the outside of Love's interceptions, which has got to get fixed. They're what did Jason say when he talked to, I forget which coach it was, but don't make the same mistakes, make different mistakes.
That was about that was about Edgerrin Cooper.
Yes.
And making, as a rookie, he's going to make mistakes, and Jeff Hafley told him make different mistakes.
Make different mistakes. So this team has different areas each game that play better or is making mistakes. For instance, it was the pass rush the first several weeks. Then the pass rush shows up, but then something else is going wrong. All of these things are fixable. You're seeing a change, a team change and evolve before your very eyes. And the final product of it is going to be a juggernaut. I believe that.
Ooh, I like that word.
800-990-3776. Get ready for a lot of Kyle Wallace random oohs and ahs and one-liners about his excitement of the Green Bay Packers. Brad, you had started with your point there by talking about, like, you know, I don't know why. Like, people feel this way. How come they're not getting enough credit for finding a way to win against the Houston Texans? It's very simple. The first 5 texts that I got within the start of the show were about what?
Probably Jordan Love interceptions.
Jordan Love interceptions. Let's be honest. How much blame goes on Jordan versus the receiving core? I don't know what's at least half. Jordan Love is a bit of Brett Favre in him. Like, you name it. All of this, right? We I guess, you know, that maybe this was our time to give some flowers to Jeff Hafley, but the takeaway in the conversation is all around Jordan Love. It's all around how he makes you feel playing quarterback, because you're paying him a lot of money to be your franchise quarterback. So what I want to know is 800-990-3776, because I'm guilty of this roller coaster. I really am. There are times where I'm watching the game and I'm like, oh yeah. Look at that Jordan Love go. Oh no, what the hell was that? Have we all felt that?
My notes
good.
specifically say you can kind of have Love terrible throw into coverage for INT. Didn't see corner who came off receiver to tip ball. Love with a terrible all caps decision again. Falling back. So, I mean, just the way I write these, that's my emotion.
And
it's a roller
Jordan
coaster.
Love rope laser through 2 hands that Tucker Kraft finds in the middle of the end zone, in the red zone. Unbelievable, absolute bullet. And I'm like, oh yeah.
I mean, I find myself saying wow a lot, and it's sometimes when I throw like that, it's oh wow.
Yeah.
And then other times it's like, oh wow, I can't believe he just threw that ball and got picked.
The thing is, when did Brett Favre become so bad on the field? For real, I'm so serious.
First ballot Hall of Famer.
Brett Favre is the reason why Brad and I both love and adore the Green Bay Packers. Though Brad got checks from other places because of the fact that he was good enough to make to the NFL. But before those checks started getting written to him, he absolutely loved the Green Bay Packers and still has appreciation for the Green Bay Packers and a liking for the Green Bay Packers. And it ain't because of Aaron Rodgers. It ain't because of Mike Holmgren. It is simply because of all the fun, all the highlights, all the energy that Brett Favre had. That's why he is absolutely beloved by Green Bay Packers fans, because he made watching football fun. Not saying Rodgers wasn't fun, but if I ever got compared on a football field to Brett Favre, I'd be a proud person. So I think Jordan Love should be very proud about that.
800-990-3776. Chris, let's get something out on socials, Twitter, KBN, ESPN. And maybe you can put it out once we give our response. That way people can reply to what we say as well. Because I want to know, 800-990-3776. When Jordan Love drops back to pass, you feel blank. I feel like I'm on the newlywed game, right? Like, your partner feels blank. When Jordan Love drops back to pass for the Green Bay Packers, you feel blank. The options are unlimited. Please let us know how you feel, regardless of how you feel. He found a way to get it done that last drive, which leads us to a victory Monday brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza with delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, Screamin' Sicilian. Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer. When Jordan Love drops back to pass, I feel blank. 800-990-3776. Next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
You agree with me?
I mean, Lola Bunny on your algorithm shaking her butt?
It's people on my Facebook sharing stuff, and I'm like, you know what? Lola the Bunny was kind of strapped.
Okay, here's as far as I'm... All I'll be able to say is I get why Bugs was so love drunk over Lola. I get it. That's as far as I can go to you.
Look at this. Google Lola the Bunny.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. What happens when you mix a 3-time Wisconsin Sports Writer of the Year with a Packers Hall of Famer?
I'm not going to get into the Kringle turnover game, so that's what it needs to be. I think his legs. Yeah.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Like the pastry
Are you guys being
turnovers.
serious? You guys can't put two.
I got it. I could not get it.
They don't call themselves Racine Danish
I'm
turnovers.
sorry. Sometimes I wonder about you two, man.
Catch him from 9 to noon right here on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube. The 23rd annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 30th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Pfister Hotel. The program will feature a presentation with Code Baby CEO Nori Daroga and elementary students, dinner and a voice auction. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp STEAM-based education programs to thousands of K-3 through 5th graders and educators across the Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine areas. Find tickets to October 30th's A Novel event at sharpliteracy.org. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
The Packers get a 24-22 victory in Green Bay on Sunday on a walk-off field goal from new kicker Brandon McManus. But it was Jordan Love after the game talking about his 2 interceptions that he wants to clean up.
Definitely got to clean that up, and I think if I clean that up, it'd be a better game. But that definitely hurt me. But got to bounce back and respond to him. The game's not going to be perfect, but definitely move forward, want to be better with the ball.
It's 3 wins in a row now for the Packers, who next up take on the Jaguars in Jacksonville on Sunday.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
The 2024-25 Buck season promises electrifying performances, unforgettable plays, and even more historic moments. Be part of it by securing your seats now at bucks.com/full. Buck season ticket members get the best pricing, premier ticket locations, and exclusive benefits. Secure your season membership and lock in your seats for what's sure to be an unforgettable 2024-25 season at Fiserv Forum. This era of Bucks basketball is something special. Get your tickets now at bucks.com/full.
Gabe, where do you think our group should be taking our golf trip next year?
Jason, I don't know. Do you have time to figure it all out and get all the reservations made? I certainly don't.
Not really. I mean, I'm so busy. If I only knew somebody to call that might do all the work for us.
Oh, I know about Wisconsin Golf Trips. Their main business is booking groups from around the world to play all the great courses in our state, but they're now doing outbound trips for groups each year to places like Michigan, Minnesota, and Nevada. Plus, Wisconsin Golf Trips is even booking custom packages for Scotland and Ireland.
Oh, wow. Let's hit them up.
WisconsinGolfTrips.com.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields, and I have great news. Fields Volvo Cars Waukesha has the Volvo you want in stock and ready to drive home today.
Come see our full lineup of Volvo SUVs, the XC90, XC60, and XC40.
So stop by Fields Volvo Cars Waukesha and take a test drive.
Plus, you'll be part of Fields Amenities program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and gourmet coffee service. Integrity and customer satisfaction will always be the force that drives our business. At Fields Volvo Cars Waukesha, go to volvocarswaukesha.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we've helped hunters gear up for the season for over 6 decades. So as you prep for this year's hunt, shop unbeatable deals on supplies to make your trip successful. Like 10 packs of Grabber hand warmers, just $5.99. Save $120 on men's special buy Irish Setter neoprene boots, now $59.99 while supplies last. And for working dogs, get $5 off new big bags of Black Gold Explorer dog food. Gear up and save on the hunting supplies you need at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And everything.
It is a Victory Monday, brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza with delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's Urban Pie, and Screaming Sicilian. Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer. Kyle Bruston Hortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Chris Larson running the show. Alex Strofe Taking a little lunch break at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. UKBN Nation chiming in at 800-990-3776. When Jordan Love drops back to pass, you feel blank. 800-990-3776 and on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee and at ESPN Madison. We start with even-keeled Brad. How do you feel when Jordan Love drops back to pass?
When Jordan Love drops back to pass. When Jordan Love drops back to pass, I feel exhilarated.
Ooh.
I feel exhilarated. Are
You
we
take
thinking
your
the
word?
same thing, Kyle
You
Wallace?
took my word, but it's okay. I got a lot of words.
You can
Back
double
to the
down on it.
dictionary.
I got a lot of words.
Back to the thesaurus, baby. I feel exhilarated. I mean, there's a sense of like thrill I feel when he goes back to pass because he has those moments of just unbelievable passes where he's got a little bit of Aaron Rodgers in him, where it's like, man, how did he thread that needle? How did he see that guy? And there is just an excitement level when he drops back to pass, but also the other side of the coin to the exhilarated coin. It's kind of like when you're getting ready to go on a roller coaster and you're kind of ticking up on the top before you're about to go on that ride. There is a moment of exhilaration that makes it so palpable because I know there is a small risk of failure and risk of heartbreak. That's what makes it so exhilarating. You don't know if you're going to get the thrill or the heartbreak. Most of the time you get the thrill, but there's just enough heartbreak to keep it exhilarating. To not be always exciting, exhilarating has a bit of risk involved, and that risk pops its head up a little too often lately, but exhilarated nonetheless.
Kyle Wallace, Jordan Love drops back to pass, and you feel what, Mr. Demonstrative?
I feel entertained at all times because I had exhilarated as well because I just feel
Great
the
minds,
emotion.
Kyle.
You know what I did? I said, well, I know how I feel, but I need to relive it. So you know what I did? I went to the YouTubes, which you should go to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and watch his streamers live. And I said, let me just again watch some of them Jordan Love highlights from yesterday. And all I can do is just smile. I smile because I'm being entertained every time he drops back. Whether or not it's an easy dink and dunk pass to Romeo Dobbs or a touchdown pass to Tay Wicks, I am just overly entertained by all the good and also some of the bad.
Is this a good thing?
The bad is entertaining
Wait, you said
too.
you watched highlights. What about lowlights of Jordan Love when he throws a pick?
Well, even when I watch the lowlights, I'm still entertained. I still get a sense of emotion when I'm watching him throw those interceptions. I'm telling you.
Why are you so excited about his interceptions?
I'm not excited about his interception, but let me tell you something. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'm just weird like that, right? Maybe I'm a guy that likes a little drama in his life. Y'all know I like watching my drama shows. Jordan Love is fantastic. I love him. Aaron Rodgers, he was so entertaining. I love doing the championship belt. I love seeing him, smoking the other team. But there's something about somebody you go, oh no, what are you doing? And then all of a sudden they just, while you all mad, they just, calm, cool, collected. And then they go out there and they throw a touchdown pass. That's my boy. That's what I'm talking about,
and
right?
Totally redeem yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
There is something with the roller coaster, the pendulum swinging in different directions that gets
That's
me
not
so...
good for your health.
It's not good for my health, but damn it, it is so entertaining, is it not? Going out there,
sure is.
think about it. When he went out there, he almost threw that interception. What was everybody's reaction when he threw it on the last drive? When he almost threw the interception.
What are you doing?
That was it.
No.
But what did you do? You said, Jordan do that all the time. Let's see what he does, right? So you're entertained, you're into it, right? You're locked in.
Jordan, that's just Jordan being
No,
Jordan.
it was Jordan being Jordan. It's like, all right, well, you got a second chance, and Jordan is hell. Okay. He almost got me there, but I'm good.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm
doesn't
just
that scare you? I'm sorry. You just make me have to play devil's advocate for a second because were you excited when he did the, oh, Jordan, what are you doing against the 49ers in the divisional game?
I was
it's fun now.
but not in a good
my whole
space.
point is it's fun right now. I totally agree.
He's the old gunslinger, man. I love him. Put him in the old bison hole, right?
Because as I answer this, when Jordan Love drops back to pass, you feel what? I feel stimulated. I feel stimulated. I read the definition because it raises the levels of physiological or nervous activity in the body. And that's what I'm feeling. I'm like, woo, what's going to happen next now? What's he going to do? What's he going to do? What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Touchdown!
Yeah.
What the hell? Overthrow! Fumble!
No, it is a lot of stimulation as well. Stimulation, emotions, a lot of different things.
So we land on stimulated, exhilarating, and entertained.
I'm emotionally entertained.
I think those are good, and those are all generally positively Those are generally like positive ones, right? I'm sure
they're very emotional.
They are. Do we go slightly easier on Jordan Love? One, because he hasn't stacked up like hundreds of bad interceptions, and or he's just kind of level-headed. He's so likable, right? I mean, he's lovable. Like, his name fits him. He's a lovable quarterback to where he doesn't like make you angry, right? He does everything seemingly right outside of throwing picks.
Brad.
So do we go like a little bit easier on him?
I think we go a little easier on him. I was going for a walk yesterday. My post-game walk, either it's I'm a happy walk.
Searching for meaning
or no, for real.
Celebratory?
If it's a sad walk, don't talk to me. If it's a happy walk, then I'm just walking happy. And I remember one of my neighbors, she said, don't know her. She was up the block. And she was like, how y'all doing? I said, good. She said, how about those Packers? That guy, Love, he got me nervous throwing those interceptions like that. I said, yeah.
Why you got to do her dirty like that?
That's how she sounded. She sounded very Wisconsin.
So
I said, yeah, but we won the game. And for one, I don't
know. Kyle say, yeah, but we won the game.
We did. I like living on the edge just a little bit, man. And this demeanor throughout it all makes it that much more fun, because even though he makes these terrible decisions and bad mistakes, there is something about him where you say, you know what? When he cleans that up, we're going to be good, right? He's going to be okay. And you just still have the hope that he's going to clean it up, where Brett Favre was never getting cleaned up. But right now, I still have hope that he's going to clean it up. Remember last year, he had a little rough patch there because the first 2 games he played very well, and he had multiple games where he threw multiple interceptions, and then all of a sudden he hit his hot streak. And we know that Jordan Love can hit a hot streak, so I'm just waiting on him, man. I'm waiting on the edge of my seat.
You sure are. 800-990-3776. When Jordan Love drops back to pass, I feel blank, and Paul chimes in like it's time for Whoopi, a Newlywed Game reference. I like that. I mean, that works for our conversation as well. K-Walk feels excited. We have numerous offensive weapons, and I love the fact that he takes chances to get them the ball.
I honestly like it too. I'd rather have that, because I'm thinking about what would be the opposite of Jordan Love, right? It'd be like a vanilla quarterback, right? And so does that mean he's like flavorful? I mean, that's a weird way to put it, but like he is going to stimulate like your senses.
Like Skittles. Right? We're tasting the rainbow, man.
You got variety. You got some flavors you love. You got some flavors you don't. He is not vanilla. And I thought, honestly, back to last year, his personality is pretty stable. He wasn't opening up the playbook. He seemed vanilla early last season. When they opened it up, boy, oh boy, he is everything but vanilla. And I got between a vanilla quarterback or a little bit of range in production and results. Give me the range. Give me the flavor, Kyle.
Give me the dub. I want the dub with flavor and excitement.
We also have Jeff in McGuanago says he's feeling like he's watching Brett again. Obviously, a lot of Brett Favre texts coming in. Jordan Love is more like Brett than he is like Rodgers. But I think that might be a good thing for the Green Bay Packers, says Ryan. And look, I tend to agree, because one of the things that I do want to mention is for so long, people celebrated the Aaron Rodgers touchdown interception ratio statistic, but golly, were people starting to get frustrated with his inability to go outside of his comfort zone and not take chances, because whether he was protecting the football for his own personal records or if he was protecting the football because it was best for the Green Bay Packers. God, you can't tell me there weren't times you're like, come on, Aaron. Force it on in there a little more.
I truly trusted everything Aaron did. I mean, there was a point where Aaron could almost do no wrong in my eye. Like, for real, I absolutely trusted him. It wasn't until the very end where I was ready to move on from Aaron. But I really didn't question too much. Obviously, you would love for him to throw it downfield more. But when a guy like Aaron Rodgers wins multiple MVPs, gets you to multiple NFC championship games, and you win a hell of a lot of football games, you really don't question. You might get a little frustrated, like, well, take more shots. But then you see him do a back shoulder touchdown pass to Jordy Nelson or Devontae Adams. You're like, ooh, that's good.
Dan in McGuanago, 800-990-3776. When Jordan Love drops back to pass, you feel what?
30D.
I kind of have mixed emotions, because you don't know what you're going to get. You're like, oh my God, should I scream or should I cheer? But I think as time goes on, he's just going to get better and better. And I wish people would stop comparing him to other quarterbacks.
It's the nature of the biz, Diana. We appreciate the call.
Speaking of the comparison, just a thought came to mind. Is it a good thing or a bad thing in your eyes that he's being compared to Favre?
Great.
Like,
Great.
It's a good thing. Like,
people are
Brett
saying
Favre's a Hall of Famer.
He went to 2 Super Bowls. Aaron didn't.
Like, I think it's a good thing, but people are saying it as if it's a bad thing.
Kyle, you're so petty.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying he did go to 2 Super Bowls. Give me the guy. If I went to 2 Super Bowls, hopefully we win 2, I'd be happy, right? 1 Super Bowl, we still have a thirst for more. So Brett Favre was able to get us to 2 Super Bowls. Brett Favre was able to awaken a dormant franchise like the Green Bay Packers. So I have no qualms whatsoever when saying when I compare him to Brett Favre, it is a positive thing. I love me some Brett Favre on a football field.
It did seem like the Favre era was a bit more fun than Aaron Rodgers, right?
was.
Like Rodgers was efficient and deadly, but Favre was fun, baby. I mean, it was so fun. Heartbreaking and stressful, but fun.
Aren't all sports? There's always a cure for heartbreak and stress, and that is when you're relaxing on the couch with a nice beverage in Brad Nortman's hand.
Yeah, and that's a Carbliss, baby. I mean, whether it's heartbreak and stress or celebration and exuberance, Carbliss is the thing that you pair with that. On the weekend, maybe even like tonight on having football on a Monday night, there's always a situation that you can have Carbliss, and it enhances the experience. I know I do. This whole weekend, man, whether it be Friday night, just relaxing from a long work week, or, watching college football or NFL throughout the different weekends, I love pairing with a Carbliss. It is the drink of fall. It sure is. Because there's a flavor for everybody. I mean, the margaritas still hit. With this warm weather, it still feels like you're living in summer. But the fruit flavors like black raspberry, lemon, lime, and pineapple just hit every single time. I believe I had one of each of those this weekend. And the classic cocktails like mojito, my favorite, margarita, and strawberry margarita. It's a nice little twist to the margarita. There's flavors for everybody, and they all absolutely hit. When you taste it, you're going to say, oh yeah, this is what Brad was talking about this whole time. Not only that, though, I am looking for and I require a guilt-free experience. That's what Carbliss gives me, because I try to eat healthy. I try to work out. That's why Carbliss is perfect for me. Gluten-free, carb-free, sugar-free. That means guilt-free. 100 calories per can. Carbliss has something for everybody. It checks all my boxes. It'll check all yours as well. If you haven't tried it yet, check out Carbliss. Get them at your local grocer. And if you already had it, then you know how good it already is. Less is more with Carbliss.
This is a fun Victory Monday. The Packers are 5-2. And we may arguably have one of the more entertaining quarterbacks in all of football, because when you drop back, it's going to be great or it's going to be wild. We don't know. Well, that's what we're talking about. 800-990-3776. When Jordan Love drops back to pass, you feel blank. Plus, we got to give some cheers twos, some positive things we saw, and pouring out to some things that we need to address here on Kyle Brust and Nortman. You can chime in as well. Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
That is completely unacceptable. It is unacceptable for a team to
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. Is acceptable? Unacceptable?
Unacceptable.
Unaccessible. Wait.
What?
Wait. My mind is
unacceptable.
Unacceptable.
Unacceptable. What did I say?
Unacceptable.
My mouth and brain
Unacceptable.
are like not
Unacceptable. What did I say?
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code YEAR to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code YEAR for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and are you ready to make some money betting on sports? We had a great week last week, and we're heading into basketball season next week. A great time to get signed up before Halloween. Go to fatjacksports.com. It's less than $80 a week to make money betting on sports. You can go through at least the Super Bowl or beyond and save even more. You get the Breeders' Cup for free. You get NBA for free through the end of the month when you sign up through October. Save money and win. Go to fatjacksports.com, fatjacksports.com.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts?
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
No, listen. If they made our goalposts just a little wider, and why just yellow? It's Green Bay. Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, I get it. You can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want. From durable materials and fold-away hardware to custom colors and ease of maintenance, backed by quality craftsmanship, energy efficiency, and warranties that will last for years.
And this has got to be the Pella Dagger.
Right now, get 0% interest for up to 60 months at PellaWI.com. Okay, now I've got popcorn and soda.
Right here.
$22.50, please.
Too bad we can't customize concession prices.
That's it. You've got this, partner? I'm out of here.
Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply.
It's time for the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Experience elite orthopedic care at OAW. Their skilled teams in Pewaukee, Brookfield, and Mukwonago offer tailored treatment for your needs.
The Milwaukee Bucks preseason in the books, and now all eyes set on Wednesday's opener at the Philadelphia 76ers. Former Sixers head coach and now Milwaukee Bucks head coach Doc Rivers, entering his first full season as the Bucks lead man, discusses the advantages of having a full offseason as the head coach of the Milwaukee Bucks.
First of all, I can create my own staff, which is important. I think having the guys that you want around you matters.
It's Bucks and Sixers to open the NBA season Wednesday night, 6:30 tip, 6 o'clock pregame on our sister station, 620 WTMJ.
This has been the Milwaukee Basketball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Book your appointment today at orthowisconsin.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from ESPN Wisconsin's Carbliss and Nortman. I love this time of year. Playoff baseball, the start of hoop season, and of course, football. I'm all about watching the action on the gridiron with a Carbliss in my hand. Premium, ready-to-drink cocktails with no malt, no carbs, and no sugar. Vodka cocktail flavors like cranberry, black raspberry, and lemon lime, and classic cocktail flavors like Paloma or Margarita. Find Carbliss at your local grocer and enjoy game day. Carbliss. Less is more.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I said it earlier, and I'll say it again. It's a great day to be alive on this Victory Monday. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Chris Larson running the show, Alex Shrove hanging out in Madison at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. UKVA Nation at 800-990-3776. And we've been asking the question, when Jordan Love drops back, you feel blank. I feel stimulated. Brad, you feel exhilarated?
Sir.
And Kyle's entertained at all costs.
Are you not entertained, Jordan Love said.
Derek in Lake Geneva, 800-990-3776. How do you feel when old J Love goes back to pass?
Man, I feel like I'm sitting at Pato playing a slot machine, knowing full well I got 10 to 15 years before I got to hit up the ATM.
Hey!
That was good.
Derek in Lake Geneva, I like it.
Hey, just so I know, I stopped laughing about 10 minutes ago from some hottie calling Kyle Mr. Swagger. I've been laughing for like weeks.
Hey, for those who missed it.
Yeah, she did call me that.
For those who missed it, great callback, Derek in Lake Geneva. Kyle had an old boo thing 20 years ago that still called him Mr. Swagger.
Way to resurrect that.
She was a looker, too. I mean, I got my baby girl now, but she was a looker back in the day.
What did you do to earn that nickname?
Boy, I'm going to be honest.
That is for off the air, Brad.
She said she saw me walking, and she said, ooh, he walked with some swagger. I'm going to call you swag. She hit on me.
Have you changed the way you walked?
I don't know, man.
He doesn't walk with swagger around here.
Now I walk expeditiously because I'm going from here to here to here to there.
You walk with purpose around this office.
I do. Unfortunately, I lost the swag.
You did. I think I got my swagger back. Chris Larson's time to cheers to and pour one out.
The weekend is over, so let's pop some bottles. It's time for Cheers to and Pour One Out on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
All right, we see some things in the game we want to cheers to. We see some things in the game we want to pour out to. on the more negative side of things. We'll start with the positive, and if you have any cheers tos and pour one outs, you can hit us up at 800-990-3776. Bradley.
Man, I wouldn't be able to call myself a specialist if I didn't highlight and not raise one but two cheers to Brandon McManus and Daniel Whelan, right? I mean, first, let's start with Whelan, right? He had 5 punts, average of 56.8 yards, just booming punts left and right. And the net is pretty good too. Didn't calculate it, but they only had 26 yards of total return, so still well above 50. Not only that, scooping up that low snap on the game-winning field goal. I mean, he got it down there, got that ball perfectly placed like it was no problem from one holder and one punter to another. Very impressive. And of course, Brandon McManus, right? The Packers have had their kicker struggles, a lot of stress, a lot of uncertainty. Big spot for a game-winning field goal. Brandon McManus shows why he's a vet. No problem. He crushes it. Timeout. Crushes it again. 45 yards. No problem at all.
Speaking of Mr. Swagger, I'm not saying that Brandon McManus, from a percentage standpoint, has been awesome the last 6 years, but he's been above everything we've seen from the Green Bay Packers kickers the last year in 6 games before this one. When he stood even out there for extra points and field goals, he stood like a man who's been there before, and he gave me confidence looking at him before he kicked. But Kyle, your cheers too.
Yeah, I'm going to say, because Narveson had his arms swinging, looking all nervous with them stupid long sleeves.
Narveson kind of was like a hunchback.
Yeah,
like,
he was nervous.
He was all tight.
Yeah, it didn't elicit a lot of confidence.
No, he did not. But for me, there's so much to cheers to with this football game. Absolutely a great one, Brad, because what a great hold by Mr. Daniel on that one. But I got to cheers to this. Josh Jacobs. Cheers to Josh Jacobs and cheers to Jordan Love. Now, I say that because Jordan Love, before this season, he noticed a stat about his new running back. You know what that stat was, Ben?
200-plus games with a reception but no receiving touchdown.
He had 200. He had a lot of receptions, but he had no touchdowns. It actually turned out to be the second longest streak in NFL history. 212 receptions without having a receiving touchdown. And shout out to Jordan Love on helping our boy Josh Jacobs break that streak. So cheers to Jordan Love for finding Josh Jacobs, and cheers to Josh Jacobs for finally ending the streak of receptions without having a touchdown.
A quick one from Big M in the 608. Cheers to the pass rush. Pour one out to the rush D.
Very true.
Powerful.
Yeah, Joe Mixon's getting it in.
Yeah, I'll say a different one here. I was very critical last year because it made 0 sense if you were even attempting to make the playoffs, right? Because if you get in the playoffs, you have a chance. But you need to have somebody you can rely on from the kicking standpoint. And Anders obviously let a lot of fans down in the San Francisco game. But Goody didn't bring anybody in at all to challenge him. He's brought in a lot of different guys, and he went out on a limb. If we're being honest, I see some people text and tweet. They still talk about how it may sit a little bit wrong with them, with how they feel about Brandon McManus off the field. But ultimately, Goody's job is to weigh the pros and cons of everything, and he has a direct line to Mark Murphy. They both came to a decision that Brandon McManus was equipped enough to join this football team. Goody didn't sit and wait. And in a game where Anders Carlson kicked for the 49ers against the Chiefs, he missed an extra point off the left upright, and I was like, look at that. McManus nailed a game winner with confidence while Anders is still struggling to make extra points. So I think Goody gets the cheers too for me for making the move, bringing the guy in, and signing the veteran that was much needed at the kicking position.
Ironically, too, the game-winning field goal was right in the range that all these Packer kickers have struggled with over the last year and a half. So fascinating. Okay, on to pour one out. Okay, guys. That was like a hear Brad out. This is almost like a hear Brad out. I thought the winter warning uniforms were cool and the whiteout was cool, but they totally botched the timing of this. Why are we doing it in mid-October when it was like 80 degrees?
Winter is coming, Brad.
I thought that was a total miss. I didn't get the winter vibe.
Hang on. They planned this out far in advance.
Yeah,
and
so
you got the averages on October 10th like a meteorologist would?
Because it's not winter. It's peak fall.
It's a winter warning.
No, they should have done this in November.
Yeah.
But the perfect time would have been after or on Thanksgiving against the Dolphins. I think this whole winter warning thing, cool idea, completely botched the timing. Pour one out to Packers like marketing and team planning, because to do this in October was a total miss. I didn't get the winter warning vibes like they wanted. Do it later in the season. That would have been a total home run. Instead, it was just like, yeah, okay, it's just alternate jerseys, whatever.
Yeah, Brad, I disagree. Even though, I get the date, but I'm fine with the Green Bay Packers doing it because you never know what you're going to get in October in Wisconsin. You may get 80 degrees on October 21st, or you may get -5.
You're not getting negative.
It was 40 and rainy last week.
No, it snowed. Our senior year in high school, our last regular season football game, a week before we played, it actually snowed outside. Oh, no, that was our junior year because.
Why don't you go with your pour one out? I'm going to pour one out to you right now going off script.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, it did snow. But more importantly, I'm going to pour one out to C.J. Stroud. That's what I'm going to pour one out for, because C.J. Stroud, this was supposed to be a matchup between the future quarterbacks of the NFL, the faces of the NFL. Maybe this is going to be what the Super Bowl looks like come at the beginning of 2025. Nope. C.J. Stroud played a bad game. The Green Bay Packers defense forced that. They were out of sync, out of rhythm. He was very, very frustrated, and he only threw for 86 total yards. Just C.J. Stroud, the great C.J. Stroud, who is very, very talented, only threw for a total of 86 yards in their loss to the Green Bay Packers. So I'm going to say pour one out to poor C.J. Stroud and that terrible performance that he had leading the Texans offense to a loss on Sunday against my Packers.
86 yards. That's an amazing stat. That is so incredibly low.
That's Will Levis numbers. That's Chicago Bears quarterback numbers.
I'm going to do a double pour one out here. Pour one out to Rich Bisaccia because, although we did praise Waylon and Narvison, McManus, that's 2 weeks in a row Jaden Reed back there is making some bad decisions here. You can't catch the ball in the end zone unless it's a kickoff. Please, just get. And also, he's too valuable. Get his ass out of the punt return. I don't want to see Jaden Reed back there. Then I'll just move quickly to Stephon Diggs. You think you're going to take on the whole team?
Hey, man, listen.
It takes a lot of swag, but then to go out and kind of get clamped, you can do the strap dance. Do the strap dance.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Give it to him, Kyle.
Even
Give
Evan
it to
Williams,
him.
They strapped in. Zaire was strapped in. They was strapped out, baby.
Strap. So if you're going to talk, you better back it up. He does a lot of talking, and it doesn't end up working out for Stephon Diggs. Adam chimes in. Cheers to all facets of the green and gold. Pouring out to the dumpster fire that is Green Bay East. Powerful.
It is a dumpster fire.
Yeah, that's
it's a thrilling watch. It really is to see that downfall.
I like it. I do. I really just like.
You didn't watch the game. You watched Love Is Blind.
I watched Love Is Blind because I didn't want to watch that disaster. But what I did, I followed it on the little social X, Twitter X or whatever it's called. And so I like seeing they struggle. I love seeing them struggle. At least I love seeing Devontae Adams have an attitude. I love seeing Aaron Rodgers have an attitude. Like, I like the fact that I can go on social media and I can see after the game that things aren't going too well. Guess what, fellas? The grass ain't greener out east. It's the greenest right here in Wisconsin, and specifically Green Bay.
Green Bay, keyword.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about how you maybe won some money, Kyle.
Oh, my gosh, y'all. I had so much fun playing Underdog Fantasy Sports this weekend. I ain't gonna lie to you. I thought I took an L. I really did. I stopped checking it because, dang, I done missed out. But nope, your boy did not miss out. I won me some money yesterday. And what I love is I won it off this. Because in Underdog Fantasy Sports, if you make multiple picks, they give you something where if you get 4 out of 5 or 3 out of 5, they still give you a little bit of cash. And that's exactly what happened. I played $15 and I came up winning $35. Yeah, $35. It is absolutely so fun to play, and I want you to get in on the action. This is what you have to do, y'all. KBN Nation, take out your phone. Go to the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. Yes, go to Underdog Fantasy Sports app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com and sign up using promo code KBN, You can select higher or lower on player stats. So whether it's higher or lower on rushing yards, whether it's higher or lower on receptions, whether it's higher or lower on passing yards, you can select it and you can watch it all play out on the field. So I'm telling you this right now, get the Underdog Fantasy Sports app today. And when you do that, Underdog Fantasy will give you a first cash pick'em entry up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Yes, $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. It's using promo code KBN. That's promo code KBN to claim your new customer special. Y'all, don't miss out. Get the Underdog Fantasy Sports app. And remember, it must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerns your play. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin Talking text line. We'll continue to take your responses as they keep coming in. When Jordan Love drops back to pass, you feel blank. Brad feels exhilarated, I feel stimulated, and Kyle feels entertained at all costs. More Kyle Brust-Nortman breaking down what is a big win, and a win that I don't want people to poo-poo, because when you lose the turnover battle by 3 and hold C.J. Stroud to under 100 yards and you find a way, that deserves praise. Next.
This is Kyle Brust-Nortman, KBN.
Can you try it again?
Worcestershire. It's getting Worcestershire every time I say it.
Shire.
Worcestershire. How you try and say
Why
it?
would they name something so complicated?
Exactly. You're trying to say it. It's WORCESTER Shire. Worcestershire.
All right, as we're looking that up, 2 more questions.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, no.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
It feels like it should end at Worcestershire.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. Greg Matzek, Gary Ellerson, the day after reaction show you need in your life.
This offense, Matt LaFleur's side of the ball, dragged this whole team through where they are right now.
It's Potawatomi Sportsbook Football Mondays with Greg and Gary.
The defense got hot at the right time. That might be what we're seeing here with the Packers defense as well.
Live from the Potawatomi Sportsbook Studios from 6 to 8 p.m. every Monday on 94.5 ESPN.
So what's better than a Packers win? Celebrating a Packers win behind the wheel of a newly redesigned 2024 Chevy Traverse C71. Yeah, that's better. And right now at Quick Trip, for every $1 you spend with Quick Rewards, you'll earn a Fan Zone point to spend in the Packers Zone. Then, with your Quick Rewards app, spend points for your chance to win prizes throughout the season, like a Chevy Traverse C71. Kick off your winning season with Quick Trip and your Green Bay Packers. See QuickTrip.com/fanzone for details.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tosher here for my friends at Kohler Services. If you need a bath or shower remodel, turn to Kohler Services. Family owned for 150 years, Kohler is your Wisconsin manufacturer providing care for life. And this month only, get 0 interest for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast, professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
Hey, this is ESPN Wisconsin's Brett Nortman here to tell you about QC Kinetics. QC Kinetics is helping people get their life back, and I was able to see that with my own very eyes. I went and checked out the Greenfield location, got my free consultation to have them take a look at my back, and it was unbelievable. All the tools that QC Kinetics has in their toolkit to help people get their life back, enhance their joints, and finally get rid of that nagging joint pain. The free consultation I had was a robust diagnosis to help me figure out what the best personal journey was back to health. There are so many things at the cutting edge of cellular treatments that QC Kinetics is utilizing to give countless patients back their lives again. There's already been tens of thousands of satisfied patients all throughout the country, and you could be one too. It's finally time to get your life back and visit QC Kinetics just like I did and get your free consultation. Call them today at 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
All right. I know Kyle watched Love is Blind last night, and then he said he went through his social medias and enjoyed the dumpster fire. But the Jets have lost 4 straight games, as somebody pointed out in our Cheers to and Pour One Out. Cheers to the green and gold and pour one out to the dumpster fire that is Green Bay East. Listen to Kyle Bruston Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Aaron Rodgers to me right now, and Brad, you triggered something in my head when you said he looks like an imposter of himself.
He looks like an imposter. It doesn't look like Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it looks like someone that's dressed like Aaron Rodgers. Remember how there was that fan who they would always show?
Yeah.
It looked like Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, the guy from Europe.
It looks like that guy is out there playing quarterback for the Jets. It's crazy. I mean, it looks like him, but this can't be Aaron Rodgers.
I'm going to try something. And if I'm really dumb and it doesn't make sense, 800-990-3776, feel free to rip me. But let's just say Aaron Rodgers, let's just give him 16 years in the league. There's been some years of injuries, some, obviously the Achilles. 16 strong years in the NFL of playing. He's been there longer, but in terms of playing the majority of the season, 16 years. In dog years, he's 80 years old in human years. So a 16-year-old dog, 80 years old in human years. That's what he looks like to me. He's
true.
on the back end of his dog life. The way he's running around, it's he's kind of got that limp. Bro, do we put this dog? What do we do with this dog? It's
Don't you
old.
say put. What you mean put?
I didn't say put.
I know when I hear the word putting dogs together, you're only missing the word down.
You're starting to wonder though.
All I'm
it's
saying,
blind.
it's starting to feel hey, maybe instead of continuing to poop your pants, maybe we should get you into a nursing home. You know what I mean? It's just not there.
I mean, you try to throw the stick, and it just turns and looks at you I ain't doing that. I can't move anymore.
When he threw the pick, he didn't move.
He didn't move.
When he threw the pick to Garrett Wilson on the left side, I was like, all right, they're taking this back. Is Rodgers going to try and stop the defender, or is he just going to stand? I know quarterbacks don't want to get hit, but he didn't even walk off the field. He literally just stood.
It's wild. Well, How
do you guys like the dog ears thing?
I kind of like it because now I'm picturing an old dog where it's just it's the same dog, but the vibrant dog that once was there has been replaced with this old.
They'll give you a good burst of energy, good 5 minutes. They used to give you a good 20 minutes, right? Rodgers passed to Garrett Wilson yesterday. They got picked off. Was a great ball.
It was a great ball.
Great back shoulder ball to Allen Lazard. And I was like, I've seen that with James Jones, Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson. But it's not happening for 60 minutes of the game. It's like the old dog that can only show you for 2 minutes, and he's like, it's all I got.
Yeah, and a really vibrant, energized dog, when there's a knock at the door, there'll be a lot of Kyle, give me a good bark. Yeah. There's a lot of energy behind that. But now he just gets one, There's one. That's all he's got.
Yeah,
he can muster no more than that. Yeah.
I know the old grind. When I was watching Aaron Rodgers earlier this year, the first thing that was most noticeable to me is the fact that he could not move, right? He couldn't avoid like he used to be able to avoid. Father Time has kept up to, caught up to Aaron Rodgers, and this old dog don't want to learn new tricks, so this old dog,
he don't want to learn new offense. He just wants to throw back shoulders.
What they do to old Yeller?
Oh, Kyle, that's even more than the taking him to the vet.
No, his Achilles injury kind of,
it's showing.
Listen, the Jets aren't going to be good this year, and the Jets are going to have to ask themselves, do we really want to do this with this guy again? Because everything he touches now turns to trash.
It's funny how they're seeing it at the back end, and we got it at the right time here.
Shout out to Goody, man. Goody, he had the vision.
Unbelievable.
We were like, this dog's got some vision issues, starting to run into things. You know, you guys could use him for 3 years. You'll really enjoy him on the back half of his career.
What's crazy is somebody bought that dog full price then.
They sure
right?
did.
I mean, you're like, you want this dog? And they're like, we'll take it. $1,000. You're like, you're giving us $1,000 for this dog?
He was a classic.
We get a pick swap too?
Yeah. Wow.
This is great.
Goody swindled them.
And then he's like, "Oh, this is so cute. He had a really cute doggy friend. You know, we'll take that. We'll take that dog. You know, we'll take all the litter. All the litter that Aaron was born with. We'll take them all.
They're strays.
We'll take Lazard. Even Devontae, 9 targets in 3 catches. They were trying to connect on a game of fetch, and it's just not working right now. They're too old.
They took all them wounded dogs nobody wanted.
It used to be the dog pack, and now it's just like they're all older and they're sleeping.
And no offense, because I know we have some people who do this, and I look forward to doing this one day. But in football years right now, Aaron Rodgers is going to breakfast with his buddies and just talking about everything that's going on in the world just to get away from their spouses.
Wow.
He's just hanging out with his boys in New York.
I guess he hanging out with them, boy, because the show ain't hanging out winning no games. Robert Sala's probably excited he got fired now. He's like, boy, this was a disaster.
Get paid and not deal with that? Woo, what a deal.
He says he's living the dream.
I would be,
Don't got to take care of the poop on the ground, the throw up, and all that. You don't got to clean up after everybody. Just collect the check.
Yeah, the pooper scooper. He was sick of scooping.
800-990-3776. Kyle, Bruss, and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I got some good and I got some bad for Jordan Love, and I want you guys to react. That's coming up next in 2 minutes.
ESPN Milwaukee's Gabe Neitzel. I've spent a while telling you about Mentality because it works. Not just for me, though. Take it from fellow Mentality user Jason. He's got a new lease on life thanks to Mentality.
Process was easy. It really, truly was. And the individuals that work at Mentality, very helpful, very respectful. It was an easy out. You go in a week after, they give you the results right away. And once you find that you're able to do it, just that thought, the energy already picked up a little bit. Most of it could have been mentally wise, but knowing that, hey, I get to start this, it was incredible.
Learn more today at lowtusa.com.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join.
Another convincing victory. Wisconsin cruising 23-3 over Northwestern this past weekend. Luke Fickell's locker room not wanting this win, but needing it, as he put it. His post-game remarks, audio courtesy Wisconsin Athletics.
What happened last year, it was one of those things that it stung, so this entire week was just, a little bit of a different edge to what we needed to be able to do. And it was good. It was good for us because we needed to keep pushing.
3 straight dubs, a nice stage setter for the upcoming Under the Lights showdown with number 3 Penn State.
Pella's windows and doors feature durable materials, custom colors, and innovative features like shades between the glass. Get 0% interest for up to 36 months at PellaWI.com.
Tito's Handmade Vodka is America's original craft vodka. In 1995, Tito Beverage built his very own distillery and put his life savings into it. Since then, he's won the unanimous Judge's Choice Double Gold Medal at the World Spirits Competition, the Chairman's Trophy for World's Best Vodka Tonic, and many others. Tito's Handmade Vodka is still made on the same land where he started it, all in Austin, Texas. Distilled from corn and gluten-free. Visit us at Tito'sVodka.com for recipes, videos, and more. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof. Crafted to be savored responsibly.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle, Bruss, and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle, Bruss, and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN. The Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Jordan Love is a treat, let me tell you. He is entertaining the hell out of me every weekend. And for good. With some moments that were a little bit breathtaking as well. Leading them to the game-winning field goal. So at one point, I had to pause the game. So I went do not disturb on the phone because I didn't want text from you guys coming in, or it's a good reminder when I open my phone. If I don't see notifications, don't click Twitter X to refresh and see how the game's going. So I paused it on the last drive because I had to do the 2:30 bottle for my daughter and a nap, and got her down, and I went back and watched. And I wish I was watching live like everyone else was. That's all I could think about was a couple of throws on that last drive. It was like, oh, wow. He's throwing it off his back foot to who and what? And they're down what? Like all the way down the field? Well, what are we doing, Jordan?
Yeah.
It takes
nice throw over the middle, Jordan.
It takes your breath away, right? Like for good or for bad, it takes your breath away. It's like you said, it's entertaining, it's stimulating, and it is exhilarating. All the words we use to describe it is all that and more.
So here's some good and here's some bad. Kyle Brust and Ortman across ESPN Wisconsin. 800-990-3776. Chris Larson running the show at the Gruber Law Offices. That's one call. That's all studio. And Alex Strofe. Could be at lunch, could be at the board listening to what we're saying. We don't know. He's at the Everlight Solar ESPN Madison studios. The good. He is first in the NFL after missing 2 games. He's played 5 in touchdowns. He's got 15 touchdowns. Let's get a round of applause for that. I think that's worthy of a round of applause.
In less than in playing 2 less games.
Yeah, and you guys are riding on that. You need him to score a lot of touchdowns and
a lot of yards.
Divisions in play, yards in play, Jacobs in play. You guys get some Pato bets that are still in play here.
I'm in the money, baby.
He is second in yards per game.
Okay.
Powerful.
That is powerful.
He's throwing that thing. What'd you say? Pill slanging?
Pill slanging.
Yeah.
The bad. 61.5% completion percentage, good for 29th. I think there's like 37 that qualify, and one of them's like there's like 4 of them that really don't qualify, if that makes sense.
Not good.
Not good. Tied for first with 8 interceptions, and that is with missing 2 games. So I have seen something where it's like Jordan Love tied for first or first in touchdown passes, and he missed 2 games, but at the same time, you got to look at the other side and say, well, he's tied with Patrick Mahomes, who I think this is what I think what makes this a fascinating conversation, right? I don't know if anyone watched the game after the Packers and the Texans, but over on Fox, the game of the week locally on your TV channels was the Kansas City Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champions, against the San Francisco 49ers with Brock Purdy. Purdy threw 3 bad interceptions. Mahomes threw 2 interceptions, 1 pretty bad interception. 5 interceptions, no touchdown passes, I believe, in that entire game between those 2 quarterbacks. And so I think it's very easy to get super excited about Jordan Love's performance. When I say excited, it could be about the touchdown passes or get overly excited about how you're frustrated with the interceptions and some of the decision-making. But if this is the Jordan Love that we get the rest of the season, are you okay with that?
Listen.
That's a no.
Well, I'm optimistic Jordan Love can become closer to the quarterback that he ended the year last year with. Because if I'm just going side by side, these 5 games that he's played here in 2024, next to the final 10-ish games of last year, there's really only a couple differences that jump out to me. The touchdown passes are there. The yards per game is there. It's just getting rid of the interceptions and a few more completions to help that completion percentage. I'm looking at this and I'm saying Jordan Love is 5 throws a game away from being a top 5 quarterback, from being the quarterback that he was as he ended the season last year. So, I mean, you're just getting rid of that maybe 2 or 3 interceptions and then 1 or 2 just bad incompletions. So over the course of 30 or 35 throws, you're talking about what is that? Like 10 to 15% of his whole, maybe more like 15 to 20%.
Yeah, but it's still a lot. You got that's a big percentage. You can chip away at that, but it's not just going to go to 0.
Yeah, so I'm standing on the hopes because I've seen it. I've seen Jordan Love be a more dialed-in version than he is right now, as far as being closer to that guy last year than he is right now. And I feel like the difference is only like 5 throws a game. Now, if he does not get back to that point where he was last year, where basically doing all the things production-wise without the negativity of bad plays and interceptions, then this team will have a bit of a ceiling, right? They're going to go to the playoffs and they're going to maybe win a game or 2, but it's really hard to get to the Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl if you pepper the game with interceptions. It really is. You have to win the turnover margin. At a minimum, you can't lose it. And if you put your defense in that kind of hole, 2 or 3 interceptions alone, it's a lot to put on your defense. You can't beat good teams consistently. The Packers did this last week, but consistently, like in the playoffs, you just can't do that. We saw it with Favre over and over and over, that he just threw too many interceptions when it matters most. So if this is the Jordan Love we get all year, interceptions and completion percentage included.
And a lot of wow moments.
And a lot of wow moments. It'll be a ride, baby. It'll be a ride. But they're not going to be a Super Bowl team, and they're going to lose somewhere in the playoffs. If they can get back to the Jordan Love of last year, even closer to it, 5 throws a game, he'll be a top 5 quarterback, and anything is possible. But this Jordan Love, it'll be fun. It'll be a fun ride, but they'll flame out in the playoffs.
Yeah, currently as things stand, if he continues to play like this roller coaster that he is, and Brad, you said it right. You said you cannot put your defense in these situations. You can, whether it's him throwing interceptions or special teams, there should be no way a football team, the opposing football team, should get the ball within the 15 twice in one game. Twice in one game, you still come away with a victory. That shows you how well your defense played. But the Green Bay Packers defense to this point has not proven to us that they can be put in negative situations like that, have 3 turnovers in a game, and still find a way to win. Eventually, like you said, that's going to flame out. So do I believe Jordan Love can continue to play this type of style of football where he's turning the ball over at this rate? No, I don't think they can be successful. But I want to tell you this. We can talk about the negative, but I got to gush about the good stuff, right? Because to me, Love took a step in the right direction in this game. And you say, well, how did he do that? Well, because Jordan Love finally had an opportunity to lead this team down the field for a victory. He's an unfinished product. I understand that. But do y'all know Jordan Love, when he was trailing in his game against the Texans, you know what his stats were?
Hit me.
When trailing, 19 of 25 passing, 173 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and a passer rating of 133.8. Let me tell you,
that's deep stats, Kyle.
No, that is Pro Football Focus. Shout out to them. That is the reason why I feel so confident, man. That boy is never rattled. And so you wonder why when he throws
Jordan.
No, but exactly. You go, oh, hell, Jordan. But the thing is that we said, oh, hell, Jordan on that last drive of the game, and he still found a way to get us in field goal position. When his back is against the wall, he seems to be elevating his level of play. That is what championship quarterbacks do. Remember when we had Aaron Rodgers and everybody said, you left too much time. You left too much time. Guess what, fellas? What did we just see on Sunday?
Too much time?
You left too much time for Jordan Love. Uh-oh. He still has a timeout left. Y'all should have made sure the Packers got rid of that timeout. Like, that is the level that he is getting to. And so, overall, no, I don't want Jordan Love to continue to play risky football like this. It is in his DNA. He's going to make some mistakes, but we can't be having, this whole season where he's throwing 3 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. It is going to come back and bite you. But overall, if Jordan Love continues to ascend the way he is, fellas, the sky's the limit. He's going to be the best quarterback in the NFL. He's going to be the next Patrick Mahomes.
800-990-3776. Explain as a Packer fan how you feel about Jordan Love after Sunday. I'm so curious on the fan perspective because it's been probably 65% are like, yeah, like I still love what I'm seeing, but there's a 35 that like maybe 20% are like not sold, and then like you got the 15 that teeter-totter back and forth each week on the roller coaster that he is, right? Against the Cardinals, you're probably thinking, oh, okay, all right, I feel pretty good. And then you're like, ooh, what am I watching here early on here? And then you got Kyle's statistics about when he's trailing. He's looking like God's gift to football.
Balling, man. I'm telling y'all, the ups and the downs is what's going to come with Jordan Love's career. I'm confident, as you were talking about, Brad, he's going to eventually get to where he was at, how he finished last season. He's going to find his flow. Because I still think now he's kind of getting in his rhythm, getting comfortable. He's going to stop turning the ball over, and I'm telling y'all, this team's going to take off.
Well, he can't play like he did this past week against the Texans against the Lions in 2 weeks.
Correct.
Like
no, he can't.
That's a loss. That is a loss because the Lions are too good of a football team to be able to come back against them, and that's just my opinion. I think Houston's good, but the Lions have shown to be a team that even was down against.
Torch that defense too. Just wait on it.
The Packers love to play well. They'll have to play well.
They got to play well.
There is something about Jordan Love that you always feel like you have hope. Because, and we've seen it, right, with last year, the Saints, that big comeback, and even trying to come back this year against the Vikings. It feels like there's hope compared to Rodgers. It felt like
when they were down, you're right.
He threw in the towel, right? I mean, he just like gave up and was mopey. But Jordan Love, that consistency, that emotional stability, you always feel like no matter how bad he's playing, if he just turns it on, he gets into rhythm and he rolls and he just stays so steady. You always have a chance with Jordan Love, which is pretty unique.
I like that staying steady and staying having that hope, because that's something that the Princeton Club has provided me and will provide you. Madison's favorite health club. So when you think about a location on the east, west, Fitchburg, and then all the express locations, and the New Berlin location in Milwaukee, millions of dollars have been invested this past year into upgrades in all the new clubs across the state. The best facilities with the best equipment, so you don't have to think to yourself, is there anything else out there? There's not. There is, but it's nowhere close to what you will have at the Princeton Club with free childcare with the membership, open 24/7. I've done personal training, headed there tomorrow to get a workout in, and I cannot wait to step in there, because when I walk in, I feel the environment. I feel that steady, uplifting environment where I always have hope. That's what you get with the Princeton Club. Check them out, PrincetonClub.net or Princeton Club New Berlin. Jason Wilde, you heard him on Wilde and Tausch across these various stations from 9 to noon. They had an insightful conversation about Jordan Love and if it's good or bad. If it's a compliment to be compared to Brett Favre, or is it not? I want to dive a little deeper in that conversation with Jason Wilde, who joins us next on Kyle, Brust, and Norman.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN.
But what I've heard is very nutritious.
I was actually about to ask. This is the last conversation on it. Did you taste it? Come on, did you taste it?
You got to. You got to make sure that it's good and good for your baby.
Yeah.
I know Jonathan Brust has. I have not yet.
Okay.
I definitely am.
You might as well take a little shot.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Well, we got a couple of issues out on the road. First of all, on 94 southbound, about a mile south of Layton, we've got the right lane blocked with some tire debris. So just be careful if you're heading through that area. Otherwise, we have one broken down vehicle on westbound 94, just west of Highway 100. We've got off on the right shoulder, luckily, so not as much of a delay with that one. Westbound 94 itself, though, from 27th Street, it's going to be slow to Mitchell Boulevard, and southbound 43, tight from just south of Silver Spring down towards Capitol Drive. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, very warm, breezy, a high of 78. Tonight, partly cloudy, mild, a low of 56. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The best source for every piece of NFL news you need to know.
That's the idea of a deal. Each side gets wins, right? They have Jordan Love under contract for the next 5 years.
ESPN NFL insider Adam Schefter is on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy every Wednesday morning at 7:30. Sponsored by Island Resort and Casino.
I think Packers fans would sign up for 12-5 today, and maybe they will be.
Right here on 94.5 ESPN, and also streaming live on the Wisconsin On Demand app and at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this fall? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
The 23rd annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 30th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Pfister Hotel. The program will feature a presentation with Code Baby CEO Nori Daroga and elementary students, dinner and a voice auction. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp STEAM-based education programs to thousands of K-3 through 5th graders and educators across the Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine areas. Find tickets to October 30th's A Novel event at sharpliteracy.org. Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
The Packers get a 24-22 victory in Green Bay on Sunday on a walk-off field goal from new kicker Brandon McManus. But it was Jordan Love after the game talking about his 2 interceptions that he wants to clean up.
Definitely got to clean that up, and I think if I clean that up, it'd be a better game. But that definitely hurt me. But got to bounce back and respond to him. The game's not going to be perfect, but definitely move forward on to be better with the ball.
It's 3 wins in a row now for the Packers, who next up take on the Jaguars in Jacksonville on Sunday.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN, brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
Guys, let's be honest. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men in Oak Creek on Howell Road, just south of Putes Road. Walk in anytime, 7 days a week, even Sundays. Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
So tell me now, do you want it? 'Cause these dancing feet don't cry to the rhythm they cry for you.
Victory Monday is brought to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza with delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's Urban Pie, and Screamin' Sicilian. Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer. And on to Victory Monday, it's always great to have Jason Wilde join us here on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. Jason, what's up?
Hi, guys. How are you?
Oh, just, we're having a fun show so far.
I'm great, Jason.
We're obviously discussing Jordan Love because he is quite the entertainer out there. And I listened to your discussion on Wilde and Tausch about if it's a compliment to Jordan Love to be compared to Brett Favre. And I think those who don't think it's a compliment, you got to remember Brett Favre was really, really, really good. Am I right?
Yes, you're right. Look, I don't. It's more nuanced than that, though.
Of course,
right? Like the comparison we're making is not meant to. And this was. I didn't love the phrasing of how the question was asked to LaFleur yesterday. Like, I really don't like the term "talking heads" because I would certainly like to believe that we do a better job of discussing things across ESPN Wisconsin than just being talking heads. But the fact of the matter is that Brett Favre threw a lot of critical interceptions and lost playoff games that way. Just like you can say that Aaron Rodgers in some of his later playoff games wasn't good enough, right? He didn't turn the ball over necessarily, but he certainly didn't go and win games like one of the greatest of all time you want to see do. So, when we talk about Favre and Love, what we're talking about really is being more of a risk-taking quarterback than Rodgers was. And sometimes those pay off, and sometimes they don't. And in the case of yesterday, he obviously threw 2 picks. He's up to 8 on the season, playing in 6 games, and that's too high of a percentage. Whether or not you want to compare them to Favre, I mean, the time that I compared him to Favre was when he threw the underhanded, falling down, stumbling interception that turned into a pick 6. That was something that looked a lot like Brett Favre to me. But the bottom line is he is, as I keep saying, working toward becoming a fully formed franchise quarterback. And he's not there yet. And he's testing those limits. And he's finding out what works and what doesn't work and what's a bridge too far in terms of risk and what's an acceptable amount of risk. And all those things are part of the process. And I think that was probably my biggest frustration last year with the amount of crowning that was going on of him after the way the final 8 regular season games and the 1.5 or 1 3/4 playoff games went. It looked easy, but I knew that there was going to be growing pains, and I think that's what we're seeing. He's still undeniably an ascending, good NFL quarterback who is probably going to be, when it's all said and done, very good to perhaps great, to perhaps Hall of Fame, who knows? But the bottom line is that's a process to get there, and he's going through it right now.
Yeah, Jason, you had a conversation with Romeo Doubs after the game, right? And this is something that is a storyline that sort of faded away, but it still feels like there's a little bit of unknowns remaining. So what was your biggest takeaway from that conversation? And if additionally, he said a line of, he's just still happy to be a member of the Green Bay Packers. Was there anything more to that comment, or was it laced in gratitude? Just what was your takeaway from your conversation with him, and then that line specifically?
Yeah, I just thought he was grateful to still be here, obviously. I think he would acknowledge now that he handled whatever frustrations or emotions he was feeling poorly, and you can't leave your team in the lurch, and you have to communicate with the people who care about you. And so I think all those things he kind of I think he learned from that scenario. And look, let's be honest, they've won the 2 games since he's been back, and he's been an important piece of those wins, right? I mean, yesterday, the dude had 10 targets. Like, this was always the struggle I had when this news first started, was it just didn't make any sense logically that he might be unhappy with his role given the circumstances of the season. And so, I think he realized that he took the wrong approach. It's okay for him to have felt the way he felt. Everyone's entitled to feel however they feel, but it's how you handle those feelings and what you do about them. And obviously the approach he took was not exactly constructive. So he seemed very authentic to me. It was a one-on-one conversation, which I'm not saying for exclusivity purposes so much as I'm saying for maybe a little more comfortability for him. And that's why he was willing to say something like that with someone who's talked to him a lot of times over the last 2.5 years. But the bottom line is he's been a key piece in each of their last 2 wins. For a guy who obviously was suspended, that's a pretty important bounce back, and now we'll see if he can keep that momentum going.
So, Jason, would you say that if there was any issue with the team at all, that's 100% in the past?
I don't think I could say that, Brad. I mean, our interaction was 2.5 minutes long. And I don't know. I would say this: if you're unhappy with your role now, then there would be a major problem, right? I mean, he has been a critical piece each of the last 2 games, and so I don't think he has a whole lot of space to feel that way about it. But again, I can't speak for certain about how he might be feeling. All I know is that he was definitely feeling gratitude that he was able to be a factor in that game.
Jason Milde joining us here on Kyle Bruss and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
Jason, do you think yesterday was a turning point for this defense? I mean, it was a very pleasant performance. I didn't like how many yards that Joe Mixon got.
Pleasant.
Yeah, it was. It was a pleasant one, but overall, did we really see the identity of this football team maybe come through yesterday defensively?
Well, wait a minute. If it was only pleasant, does that mean you do or do not think that we saw the identity of this defense come through yesterday?
No, I think we saw parts of it, right? Overall, with the way that they were able to get pressure, sending 5, all the stunts that they did. Obviously, with the running game, Joe Mixon is very, very talented at running back, but I do think we got a glimpse of what this identity is going to be, is that they're going to be a pretty good defense, pass defense, but then on top of that, able to bring pressure with doing different stunts on the D-line.
Yeah, so you're encouraged, right?
Yeah, that's the word.
As a Packers fan? Yeah, you should be. They've certainly, it's hard to play defense in the NFL, first of all. All the rules are against you. They want points, so that makes it tough. Secondly, it's really hard when your offense gives the other team the ball, or your special teams gives the other team the ball, on the 11-yard line twice, and then once at like the 40 or 45, something like that. Like, they were put in some adverse situations against a good offense. I know they were missing Nico Collins, but that's still a pretty darn good group that they won against, and they played really well. It's why Jeff Hafley got a game ball from Matt LaFleur. I think we did see what this team is going to be about, and I asked LaFleur this a little while ago, and this is what I'm really intrigued by. A lot of coaches, especially defensive coaches, their mentality is we do what we do, and we're going to trust our system, and it's going to work for us, and we don't have to adjust or change, which, in my opinion, doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because this league is all about how you adjust and how you handle adversity and what you do when things aren't working the way you want them to. And I love the fact that Hafley, who, like most defensive coordinators, doesn't want to blitz. He wants to just get pressure with his front four and have that be sufficient. Didn't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. Instead, he took a different approach yesterday. He blitzed more. He sent different guys. He dropped guys out. I mean, I think it's really interesting that he basically took a page out of Brian Flores' playbook with the Vikings and brought guys up to the line of scrimmage. There was that one play where they had 8 guys up at the line of scrimmage, but then they sent 4, but it wasn't the front 4 defensive linemen, and they got a sack out of it. Like, he moved Rashawn Gary around a bunch.
I love that.
Rashawn Gary was actually productive after, some not so productive first few games. So what I like about Jeff Hafley is if something's not working, he's not stubborn, and he starts to look for other ways he can do stuff. And to me, that's the mark of a good coach. So I think this defense is certainly headed in the right direction. Do I think they're going to have more games where things don't go the way they wanted them to? I do. Of course they are. That's how this works. But if I were you, I would be undeniably encouraged by what I saw.
Jason, I'm having, maybe you can help me here. I'm having an interesting time trying to figure out the, you can. The usage of Josh Jacobs. When I see 12 carries for 76 yards and a 6.3 average, and I see Jordan Love throw some passes and then, 33 attempts, he throws a lot of passes. I look over and I know they're not built the same way, but the way that the Lions run the football effectively and Jared Goff is able to utilize play action in a way that I don't think any other team in the NFL is able to do, could they be leaning into Josh Jacobs a little bit more, especially on a day where he's averaging 6.3 yards per carry to help Jordan Love a little bit? I know they don't run play action a lot. Maybe that was because of the pass rush that they might have been scared if it gave more time for them to get to J Love. I don't know. I'm talking out loud here because I'm trying to figure out a way to make him a little bit more efficient.
You're talking out loud or you're thinking out loud?
Both.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at some of their play. They had one drive of double-digit plays. They had a 4-and-out, a 3-and-out, a one-play drive that they threw an interception on, right? Another 3-and-out, another 3-and-out, a 4-and-out. So I got them with 6 possessions where they had 4 or fewer plays on that possession. That's why Josh Jacobs didn't get more carries. Like you can't have that many, for lack of a better term, crappy possessions. Daniel Whelan, who had a fantastic day, not only did he get the ball down on the game-winning field goal, but he kicked the ball extremely well. In the punt game, he punted 5 times. They also had 2 drives where they threw interceptions. So now that's 7 empty possessions, and then they had 3 touchdown drives and a field goal drive. So I look at that and go, there's no way that Matt LaFleur, because Matt LaFleur is not a moron, wants to only have Josh Jacobs have 12 carries, especially when he's, getting lathered up and being productive. But if you don't pick up first downs, LaFleur said it today, if you don't move the sticks, it's awfully hard to run the football. And especially when you think about 2-minute drills or end-of-half drills or whatever it might be, those are passing situations. So I don't think his touches are in any way an issue. I don't think there's any question that they would have liked to have gotten him the ball far more than they did in that game. But I don't think it was like, we forgot we have this good running back. I think it was, we didn't get enough first downs to have sustained drives that would have allowed us to keep feeding our running back the football.
No, I hear you. I just, now I am going through the play-by-play and looking at the opportunities where they could have utilized him, and I'll be playing that game and looking at that during the break because I'm intrigued in where there might have been missed opportunities with the production that he had, but I love the insight. We appreciate you joining us on Mondays, and we listen to you on Wilde and Tausch.
So wait a minute now. You're going to go through the game. You're going to go through the stat book. And you're going to find that on their second possession, that Love threw on first down. They did that crummy end around to Melton that lost a yard. So now it's 3rd and 7, so you got to throw again.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And that one's valid, right? You're not just going to run the ball with Jacobs there. I see 2nd and 3, find Sims, and then you're 3rd and 1. And I remember seeing the end around, and I was like, end around with Jaden Reed. Are we getting too cute? Like, run the football. Like, I'm just kind of now utilizing the context which you provided to see where there might have been opportunities to utilize his efficiency.
Well, and then there's another drive, obviously, in the second quarter where they gave that drive to Emmanuel Wilson. And Emmanuel Wilson got 1, 2, 3, 4 straight carries. So they still ran the football, maybe not with the guy that is their number one running back, but they want Emmanuel Wilson to be involved too. And that turns into the drive that Love hits Wicks for the 30-yard touchdown. So, again, I don't personally think that they missed a lot of opportunities to get Jacobs the ball. And by the way, they did get him his first touchdown catch of his career, which was a pretty darn cool story, too.
Sure was. We appreciate the time, Jason.
All right, guys. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde, listen to him on Wilde and Tausch across these very stations.
To that, I really think that Josh Jacobs needs to have a minimum of 25 touches a game.
I was going to say, I do want to dive a little bit deeper into this. Now he's got my brain churning, and I don't want to play, let's go through every play, but I have a hard time believing, based off the fact that Emmanuel Wilson got 4 straight carries, that you couldn't have given Josh Jacobs, after a 7-yard pickup on their 3rd drive of the game, they go past to Ben Sims and an end around to Jaden Reed, pound the freaking rock. He was getting 5 to 7 yards a carry, not just by average, but literally by carry. It wasn't like a 30-yard and a 2-yard. He was consistently finding, cutting, and getting through gaps and holes, and I love the way they ran the ball. We'll get to that. Kyle Brust-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin, and a whole lot more.
This is Kyle Brust-Nortman.
I was like, it's the 4-1-4 hour at 4.
I'm not going to lie. I feel like the kid who got picked on the sports team. I was like, oh, you want me? No way. Because all last week, it was so much fun to do that. And I was like, well, I guess it's back to Kyle doing it now. When you said, want to do it with me? I was like, oh, yeah, let's do it.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We've got some delays out on the roads right now and an issue, 94 eastbound, right at the ramp from 35th Street. We have a semi that's broken down off on the right shoulder, so just be careful heading past that. The westbound side's going to be a bit tight from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound on 41, slowing from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol, and southbound 43, heavy from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive as well. We do have one accident to report. This is on the ramp from 7 Mile Road to northbound 94. Just watch out for the lane closures right around there. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, mild, a low of 56. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, spotty showers, breezy with a high of 72. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
Hey, it's Gabe Neitzel from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. You've heard me talk about the results mentality has had on my life, but don't just take it from me. Jason has had success too, thanks to mentality.
My only regret is I didn't do it sooner. Knowing once again I've gotten the treatments done and continuing, I do feel, stuff does hurt a little bit more, but I'm 40, in my 40s, and that's going to happen. But again, the energy levels, it is above and beyond. Again, I'm back in that age where I'm like, this is amazing.
Get started today at LowTUSA.com.
We all have someone we know or love that has been affected by some form of cancer.
No matter how well you love and support them and try to be there for them, you can never really know what a person is feeling after hearing the words, "You have breast cancer."
Only another person that has been through this experience can really understand what it feels like.
ABCD, After Breast Cancer Diagnosis, is a Milwaukee-based organization known around the world.
When someone calls ABCD, they are matched with a mentor who is a breast cancer survivor of similar age and had the same type of breast cancer who can provide hope when people need it the most.
Kessler's is excited to announce that we've designed a new Hope Pendant for 2024 to honor breast cancer patients, survivors, thrivers, and caregivers.
100% of the net proceeds, along with an additional donation from Kessler's, will support ABCD when you purchase a symbol of hope.
You can find a link with more information about ABCD, along with the new 2024 Hope Pendant, starting at just $75 in sterling silver and $500 in gold, online at KesslersDiamonds.com.
When the power goes out, your life is disrupted. Heat, air conditioning, refrigeration, phones, all gone. Be prepared for the next outage with a Generac home standby generator. After sensing a power outage, a Generac generator automatically restores your home's power, whether you're home or away. Power your life with a generator from Adams, Wisconsin's #1 rated Generac dealer. Adams provides sales, installation, maintenance, and 24/7 service from all locations. Learn why Adams is your best choice in providing power peace of mind. Visit adamspower.com today.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that American Family Insurance agents can help build a customized renter's policy so you can protect stuff like this, or this, or even this. Well, case in point. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Get out the way, get out the way, get out the way, yeah. Get out the way, get the up out my way, yeah. You either with me or against me, though.
Josh Jacobs, 12 carries, 76 yards, a 6.3 average. 5 receptions, 16 yards, and a tutty. First touchdown over 200 receptions for Josh Jacobs. Jason Wilde just joined us, and if you missed Jason's appearance, make sure to go to Wisconsin On Demand or watch us back on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee or at ESPN Madison. Now, I don't entirely agree with the way that he had said it's not like they didn't, have chances to utilize him, or, he kind of said it in a way of like, well, he wasn't forgotten about. Well, in a way, I would say yes, he was, as I don't want to cherry pick the play-by-play, but I may a little bit here, especially when I look at a couple opportunities where you have 2nd and 1, and Jordan Love gets sacked, and you lose 8 yards, right? And it was a shotgun. Why aren't you under center? And if you're going to be running the football, run the football, and if you're going to throw the ball, utilize play action off a guy who just got you 9 yards to get you to 2nd and 1. I just feel like Josh Jacobs is a weapon, and he's a weapon that is underutilized, from my opinion, from the start of the season till now. The biggest game that he had was the first game that Love was out. And you said, we're going to lean on him, and we lean on him, right? I just feel like he can open up a lot for Jordan Love to make people not have to go, what's Jordan going to do here?
Well, the whole offense of Matt LaFleur is predicated on establishing the run. It's most effective when you can utilize play-action pass. So maybe there is times on games like these. Now, Jordan Love's decision-making is his own issue. But if you have an established, effective running game, it's so much easier to hit the open man and create things that just make things easier for the quarterback. And, I totally understand Jason's viewpoint on how there might have been drives and play situations where you just don't have the ability to just run the ball. But I look at the Houston Texans, and their drive continuity was worse than the Green Bay Packers as far as inability to get anything really going on offense. But the one thing they did have going was Joe Mixon. I mean, Joe Mixon had 25 carries, and he was productive, and he got 2 touchdowns, and they should have stuck with him even more. So the idea that, you're not getting sustained drives isn't necessarily, like the Texans were, isn't necessarily a reason why you don't run the football, right? You run the football early and often. I felt like earlier in the game, when the Packers got the ball, yes, they threw the pick, and there was the punt, but on the touchdown drive, they did 2 drives in a row with touchdowns. I felt like they were starting to get Jacobs going, right? He was punishing when he ran. And it wasn't a 50-yard gain, but it was 5 yards. It was 8 yards. It was 18. It was 4. Like, it felt like we were getting something going on offense. And it's like, here we go, ground and pound. And we just got away from it, right? So, and it can just work like that, right? Where you just start to get away from it for play calling. So if this offense is going to reach its full potential, Kyle, you said 25 touches for Josh Jacobs. I think that's brilliant. I think it's a great number.
He's in the Aaron Jones camp right now of touches.
He's a workhorse. Let him work.
Yeah, I agree. He is a workhorse. I think sometimes this is I think Matt LaFleur is at fault for this, right? Because there's times where Matt LaFleur can get a little bit too cute by trying to do some different reverses or whatever it was, a double reverse that the Green Bay Packers had. Sometimes you just got to line up and play smash mouth football, and you do have the back because you said he's a workhorse, but also he's a guy that when it comes to first contact, he doesn't really go down after first contact. He had 1,000 yards rushing, I believe, after first contact, and one of the
you get that wrong every single time. When he led the NFL in rushing, he had 1,000 yards alone on first down.
But I think
that's
after
saying something.
No, but I think after first
now, he
contact,
probably has good yards after contact.
I had to look that one up, but yeah, there it is. First
you
down.
should probably look that one up before you keep saying it like you don't know what's going on.
But yeah, first contact, I'll definitely look that one up. But overall, what I'm saying
No,
is
you
this.
won't.
No, I'm definitely going to do it. But overall, the big thing is this, is that I feel like the presence that he has sometimes deters Matt LaFleur from running the ball on first down because teams are so aware of him in the backfield and they understand that we need to find a way to slow down Josh Jacobs. So maybe on first down, he may not always run the football, right? And so I think Matt LaFleur needs to understand you guys got to give him the ball sometimes. Who cares what the defense has lined up there? You need to trust that your offensive line is going to be able to move some people in order to make way for him to be able to make a cut or him to run up somewhere and make plays. But overall, I feel like a lot of this falls on Matt LaFleur to make sure that we are establishing the run and leaning on the guy that we truly need. Now, right now, early in the season, all right, his body isn't taking as much as a beating. That's okay. But when it gets later in the season, it gets a little bit colder. We get to the playoffs. You have to be able to lean on Josh Jacobs. So eventually, at some point, we're going to have a turning point where the Packers need to definitely pound the rock, give the football to Josh Jacobs because, and again, at the end of the day, you're going to have to run the clock out. You're going to have to pick up some first downs. But then that play action fake is definitely going to open up when they know that Josh Jacobs is going to be a threat every single play.
The reason why I brought this to Jason, and I'm bringing this now to get your guys' opinion, and you're kind of with me a little bit, it seems, is I think this can help Jordan Love. I really do. You talked about it, Brad. Like the drives that they had success, they established the run, and that is when you have a couple linebackers just taking that half step that they take because they think there is a threat of run, does wonders for the play calling and the scheming of getting guys open. And you have a lot of guys. What we know about Jordan Love is, although Christian Watson may be low on the targets, he's throwing it to who's ever open, right? And so I think if you have that play action working, it makes Jordan Love not have to force when it's just a pass play and you're sitting back and like, all right, it's a pass play. Is Jordan going to do something now where we're going to be like, oh no, or oh yes?
Well, and sometimes it takes a minute. It doesn't always have that the run game starts with effectiveness right away. The offensive line for the Green Bay Packers, I mean, they're maulers, right? I mean, it's a top 5 offensive line, and Josh Jacobs is a physical back. He's closer to Derrick Henry than he is Aaron Jones as far as like the punishing nature of the way he runs the football. So sometimes it takes a little bit. It's like all old Wisconsin Badgers, right? Where sometimes it takes a minute.
We have breaking news, Brad. Not really breaking. Okay. Kyle found his stat.
I did. I knew I wasn't tripping. Josh Jacobs in 2022 was spectacular. It wasn't just that he led the NFL with 1,600 rushing yards. It's how he did it. Jacobs forced 90 missed tackles, tops in the NFL in 2022, according to Pro Football Focus. And on his own, he had 1,156 yards after contact, which ranked 8th in the NFL.
Powerful.
Wow.
I thought I read it somewhere, but look at that. First down, after contact, the boy can move piles, all right?
Brent says it worries him a little that Houston had 5 defensive starters out Sunday. Run the ball more. Brent from Buck and Honeys. Shout out to Buck and Honeys. But also shout out to Gina Della from Pella, who's turning 60 years old. And although she looks like 35, 40, but, I think this whole 60 is a lie. She just wanted to say she's turning 60, so she gives 0% for 60 months. Not 0 for 35, not 0 for 40. Even though she's lying about her age, look, she's got to be 35, 40. Gina's the best.
She takes care of herself.
Yeah, she does.
And so she's just like, you know what? We'll say it's for 60 because I want to give you 0 for 60 on those Pella windows and doors of Wisconsin. Joe Franco, Gina, the team, they're coming to my home tomorrow at 11 a.m. to dot the I's and cross the T's and get that 0% for 60 months because I'm getting the house done the way it deserves to be done. The comfort of my home will be better for my daughter, for me, my fiance, and our life and the home value. It's a win. Win, 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 win. With Gina Della from Pella. When does it go till, Brad?
It goes till November 8th. So, you know, if you're thinking about, should I do the appointment, should I not? The appointment has to be made before or on November 8th. So don't wait. You've been probably thinking about, should I replace them, should I not? Ben's taking the step. That means you got to take the step too. Take advantage of this. It doesn't happen very often where all of a sudden Pella is giving you the gift on Gina's birthday. She's not receiving the gift, but you get the gift. Appointment on or before November 8th. Call them today. Visit PellaWI.com. Tell them KBN sent you. They love us over there. And go get you some Pella windows and doors of Wisconsin.
Hey, that's right, Brad. More Kyle Bruss and Ortman wrapping up the ESPN Wisconsin portion with Beaver Dam and Madison. Next.
Hey! This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
The comments were so mean, but they also were kind of funny.
Wait, I didn't see the comments.
They said popcorn back in middle school must have been tough.
Please don't pick me.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Add a little inspiration and education to your classroom. Junior Achievement of Wisconsin is looking to connect with teachers, school administrators, parents, or even grandparents to bring our hands-on learning programs in financial literacy, work readiness, and entrepreneurship to your school. Learn how we can help set your students up for success. Visit wisconsin.ja.org to connect. Junior Achievement, inspiring, preparing, succeeding.
The only thing that tops our selection is your savings discount liquor.
What does the skeleton say before dinner? A bon appetit. And why did the ghost go to the bar? For the booze. Yeah, Halloween jokes can be corny. Hi, this is Marie from Discount Liquor. Since 1960, we've provided the most spooktacular selection and savings in town. From skull-shaped vodka bottles and pumpkin cream liqueurs to adult trick-or-treat bags and your favorite seasonal wines and beers. We've got the spirits to get you in the spirit. Combine our selection with everyday low prices and 2 convenient locations, and Discount Liquor is the one trick-or-treat stop you can't skip. Discount Liquor, locally owned and family operated with 2 locations, in Milwaukee on 51st in Oklahoma, and in downtown Waukesha on Barstow and Maine. See all of our specials at DiscountLiquorInc.com.
Discount Liquor.
Whether you're about to graduate high school or have been in the workforce for years, it's time to take control of your future. Welcome to Lakeland University, where you call the shots. We use our flexible learning formats to customize your degree path. In-person, online, and virtual classes are all available. Lakeland University is designed around you, your goals, your schedule, your future. You can even earn up to 25% of your degree via paid work experiences. Ready to take control of your future? Let us customize an education to fit your needs. Visit lakeland.edu/ESPN to learn more.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Pablo Iglesias.
This Badger Minute brought to you by UW Credit Union. For every stage of life, UW Credit Union is here for every you. Proudly serving Wisconsin for over 90 years. Hop in or hop online at uwcu.org to join.
Another convincing victory. Wisconsin cruising 23-3 over Northwestern this past weekend. Luke Fickell's locker room not wanting this win, but needing it, as he put it. His post-game remarks, audio courtesy Wisconsin Athletics.
What happened last year, it was one of those things that it stung, so this entire week was just, a little bit of a different edge to what we needed to be able to do. And it was good. It was good for us because we needed to keep pushing.
3 straight dubs, a nice stage setter for the upcoming Under the Light showdown with number 3 Penn State.
Pella's windows and doors feature durable materials, custom colors, and innovative features like shades between the glass. Get 0% interest for up to 36 months at PellaWI.com.
It's time for the Ortho ASAP Minute from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin.
Dr. Daniel Holland from Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin is joining me. Doctor, what makes an OAW surgeon different from most other surgeons?
At Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, we have all fellowship-trained orthopedic specialists. We have all subspecialties of orthopedics covered through our office, so you can see anybody from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes and everywhere in between.
So let's say someone is feeling pain and they finally walk into OAW for that first time. Can you take me through that process of what's going to happen next?
We always start with an office appointment, which will involve me conversing with the patient, trying to figure out what's happening, and then a physical exam. And we have on-site x-ray and on-site MRI if we should need to move into diagnostic tests of that sort.
The Ortho ASAP Minute is sponsored by Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Kyle continues to be an ungrateful boyfriend, questioning his long-term girlfriend, who he refers to as baby girl on the program. You got issues with her cooking now?
No, this was all triggered. This whole conversation was triggered because we had a nice little potluck today to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month that I don't think any of us partook in, did we? Partook?
I did. Yeah.
How did you?
Didn't.
I went around and I talked to people.
Oh, okay.
Did you eat it? Anything there?
I got a sensitive tummy.
Yeah, I don't trust nobody, especially our generation. Our generation is nasty. Y'all be letting dogs sit in here. Tastes good, doesn't it? Let the dog taste the dang thing. I'm like, nah, I ain't got time for all that. But it led me to think about the fact that I could have participated in our Hispanic Heritage Month food thing because baby girl yesterday cooked some taco type chicken or fajita type chicken stuff yesterday.
You gave her lip.
Of course. I mean, if it ain't sassy, it ain't me. And so as she's getting ready to cook,
if it ain't sassy, it ain't me.
It ain't. I literally said to her, I said, you know what? I think I got something to say about everything. She said, yeah. And I said, oh, that's okay. And so as she was cooking the chicken, she used this little crock pot.
Oh, no.
Now what?
So I'm just mad. I'm mad for her right now. Because when somebody does the cooking and you got somebody peppering you with questions.
I mean, they're doing the work. They're serving you.
And you're going to do what with that?
It's a little uneven in how we distribute who cooks in the household. She may be a little bit more of a whipper in the kitchen than me. But yesterday she was talking about this chicken because, we went to the store because we had the housewarming party that you both were invited to but did not attend. But that's neither here nor there. Neither here nor there.
That.
And we had some leftover chicken, right? We had some chicken
just like we're leftover invites.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. And so she put it in and she just opened up the little pack of seasoning and she dumped it on the chicken. I'm like, you ain't gonna season that chicken? She said, baby, it is seasoned in a pack. I said, well, in the household I grew up in, you still put seasoning on it. So I'm talking trash about, how this is like.
You pulled the in my household growing up card?
I grew up in, what Mama Wallace did? She put some seasoning.
Is your baby girl Mama Wallace?
Obviously she's not. She's not Mama
Are
Wallace.
you gonna send her to boot camp with Mama Wallace?
Well, she almost got sent to boot camp, but as she hooked it up.
What do you mean she almost got sent to boot camp?
I'm telling y'all this right now because, listen, to be honest, this all kind of stems from the party where she had some chicken and she listened to her mom for the kind of ingredients, and her mom does a fabulous job cooking. But this one just was chicken with barbecue sauce. I said, baby, what the hell? What a season? You can't just. I got people over. You can't not season chicken coming on with people coming over. That don't make no damn sense.
But it had barbecue sauce on it. That's enough. Oh, wow.
Barbecue sauce is not seasoning, Brad. It's a sauce.
Yeah,
you can
makes it flavorful.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Kyle, you are high maintenance.
I'm not high maintenance.
You want seasoning and sauce? Oh, my goodness.
Can you have my back on this? You have to season your chicken.
I season all my chicken.
You got to season your meat.
You guys
season
are
chicken.
too high maintenance.
Ain't no high maintenance. We just, we got good palates. But this is how the story basically goes. So she seasons it up, she hooks it up. And so I'm sitting here a little skeptical, me being sassy, making comments. Fellas, when I ate that chicken last night and put it in my little taco, I was finger looking good. It was so good.
Did you say, oh, baby, I shouldn't have doubted you?
Did you apologize?
I did. I said, baby, I ain't going to lie. That was good. It was
so
good.
Next time she cooks and she does something that's not from Mama Wallace in the past, are you going to say anything?
Well, this time she was good. She can cook a little bit. We could have used some rice, some white rice on the side. Could have used some white rice on the side.
Something.
Could have been something, but it was so good. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been thinking about that chicken all day today.
If I leftovers?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love me some seasoned chicken. Just could use some white rice on the side.
Yeah, seriously.
Come on now, you're gonna have chicken fajitas.
You're gonna let that small little add-on be a commentary to the meal in total?
Listen, I'm aiming for perfection, and so is she. So if she has any critique of me, baby, I hope you critique me at all times, like I do her. That's what love is made of, is making each other better.
Do you give
and scaring us when he drops back sometimes to throw the football?
That's true.
Do you give unprompted, unsolicited commentary on the food?
You know what I do?
No, I don't.
I react. I make a face.
Oh,
you make a face, and then they say what? You say nothing, and then because
you're fishing.
Yeah,
you're fishing.
Yeah, you just make the face so then they can see, and then like what?
I could never date you.
I like not to have fingernails on my table either, so that's mutual, my friend.
Baby girl's a special baby girl.
She sure is, and she can cook, baby. Good job, girl.
Is Christian Watson being underutilized? I listened to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy mornings 94.5 ESPN, and Chewy brought something up, and then Christian Watson's dad's tweeting out the box score and the targets of the Green Bay Packers wide receivers. We just talk about the Josh Jacobs usage. Plus, Jordan Love. Is he an enigma? All that next on 94.5 ESPN. Coming up, Kyle Bruss and Ortman in 2 minutes.
Go to the record store. You're gonna give them all your money. Radio plays what they want you to hear. Tell me it's cool.
We've got some delays out on the roads right now and an issue 94 eastbound right at the ramp from 35th Street. We have a semi that's broken down off on the right shoulder. So just be careful heading past that. The westbound side's going to be a bit tight from 25th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound on 41 slowing from Appleton Avenue down past Capitol, and southbound 43 heavy from Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive as well. We do have one accident to report. This is on the ramp from 7 Mile Road to northbound 94. Just watch out for the lane closures right around there. Then checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast tonight, partly cloudy, mild, a low of 56. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, spotty showers, breezy with a high of 72. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Staying healthy isn't easy, especially here in Wisconsin with all that game day cheese. Brad Nortman here from Kyle Bruss and Nortman. Between work, family, and life, managing nutrition and fitness can feel overwhelming. Trust me, I know. Quintessa in Brookfield has all the answers. As a member of their wellness membership, I have access to the Quintessa Nutrition app with customized meal plans, grocery lists, and a food tracker that keeps me on track to meet my fitness goals. Members also get 10% off all other wellness services. Take charge of your health. Visit myquintessa.com/wellness.
Hey, this is the Fat Jack, and are you ready to make some money betting on sports? We had a great week last week, and we're heading into basketball season next week. A great time to get signed up before Halloween. Go to fatjacksports.com. It's less than $80 a week to make money betting on sports. You can go through at least the Super Bowl or beyond and save even more. You get the Breeders' Cup for free. You get NBA for free through the end of the month when you sign up through October. Save money and win. Go to fatjacksports.com, fatjacksports.com.
Marquette Hall of Famer Tony Smith here. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studio at the Avenue in downtown Milwaukee. This is Kyle Bruss and Nortman, KBN on 94.5 ESPN, the Wisconsin On Demand app, and streaming live at ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
We them boys. We them boys.
It's the 414 hour at 4 on a Victory Monday on KBN.
That it is, and it's presented to you by Palermo's Pizza, Wisconsin's hometown pizza with delicious brands like Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, and Screamin' Sicilian. Palermo's has your game day covered. Find Palermo's in your local grocer's freezer. And to our good friend John, who's a Bears fan, part of Palermo's, how funny is it to walk out of your bye week and then end up in last place? Powerful. Powerful. Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Chris Larson running the show. UKVN Nation at 800-990-3776 are hanging out and seeing our beautiful faces on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. We'll have Brian Balaga later in the show. Already relevant with Chris Larson since we don't have Alex Strofe today. But Brad, this NFC North is a gauntlet.
Yeah, guys, this weekend I had an epiphany. I really did. I watched what I could of the Lions-Vikings game. Obviously, the Packers versus the Texans was my main viewing choice. And I had an epiphany. The team that will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl It will come from the NFC North. I feel so much conviction on that. And I look at it for two reasons. One is that I look at the NFC North. These are just quality teams. It won't be the Bears. Let's throw the Bears out right away. But Lions and Vikings and Packers. It'll be one of those three teams from the NFC North that represents the NFC in the Super Bowl. They're just so good. Offense, defense, sometimes special teams. They are just, they're so complete. They are clearly, based on the point differential of the NFC North going into this weekend, they're going to start to cannibalize one another.
Well, I think real quick, I want you to keep going on that, but that's really intriguing of the fact that you've only had two NFC North division games. You had the Vikings and the Lions this past week, and then the Vikings and the Packers. And so to look at the records and the point differential shows you that outside of the division, they're kicking ass.
They're not just winning, they're kicking ass. They're dominating. And then you wonder, well, okay, how do we stack up against one another? I was so curious on how this Lions-Vikings game was going to go. And shocker, two great teams, and it comes down to the wire. And Packers are one of those great teams, too. I look around the rest of the NFC. Who are the teams that scare you? The Washington Commanders with a rookie quarterback, a flawed Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, not sold on them.
NFC South full of a bunch of meh.
I think the Bucks have an opportunity if you're going to be watching Monday Night Football to see what they're made of against the quality point.
They'll be tested tonight.
I'm just saying they're going to be tested by the Ravens. And Lamar is unbelievable against NFC opponents. I think he's like 22-1 all time against the NFC teams.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how they do. And the San Francisco 49ers, who look incredibly flawed. They feel like it's Indiana Jones going through a closing door where they're trying to just sweep through. I feel like they have this season, and then that's about it. Because you look at him, Ayuk now has a torn ACL. Who knows what McCaffrey is going to look like or when he comes back.
And their defense doesn't look like they've always been.
So I look at this whole NFC, and I think people are looking at the NFC North like they look at the SEC football for all these years. You look at SEC, and you're like, I don't know who's going to win out of the SEC, but I know whoever comes out of that, they're going to win the national championship. It is
Alabama or Georgia.
It is that much further ahead than the whole rest of the NFC when I look at the NFC North, full of quality, complete teams. Lions, Vikings, Packers. I don't think any team wants anything to do with those three teams. Those are quality teams that I think one of those three will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. I'm not concerned about the rest of the NFC. This is the NFC North is the SEC of the NFL.
Yeah, I think it's a great take. It really is, especially after the game that we saw with the Vikings and the Lions. That was a slugfest, right? That was two really good football teams going toe to toe. The Vikings got out there early. The Lions were able to hit them back. They didn't fall back. They were able to find a victory late in that football game. What the Vikings proved to me was before I was iffy about them, but now they show me they're not a Super Bowl contending team, but they are a competitive football team that's going to hang around there, and they're probably going to make a playoffs, right? They're going to be a playoff football team. And then you go to the Detroit Lions. Listen, they found a way to win yesterday, right? That's exactly what good football teams do. You can go on the road and find a way to win. That's what the Lions show. In the Green Bay Packers, you already know how high I am on the Packers. And maybe with the Bears, this is a shocker. The Chicago Bears are a competitive football team as well, with the good defense that they have, and they have Caleb Williams at quarterback.
They've beaten nobody.
Well, they've beaten nobody. They can beat bad teams, right? And that's the sign of a team that can try to develop and get better. When you have a quarterback like Caleb Williams, that gives you some optimism for the future. So overall, when I look at this division, obviously the Green Bay Packers, the Lions, and the Vikings are going to be a cut above the Chicago Bears, but ain't going to be no cakewalk facing each other at all during this season. So I think you are absolutely right. The state of the NFC right now, there are no other teams that anybody should really be fearful of. You ain't going to be fearful of the Falcons. You're not going to be fearful of the Buccaneers. And I just feel like we might be getting a sense with that injury news that you just shared about Brandon Ayuk with his ACL, is that 49ers team, it may not be their season due to injuries this season. That opens up an opportunity for a team like the Packers, a team like the Lions, to really grab the bull by the horns and lead this NFC this year and have the crown.
Well, look, here's the thing. This is why I think it was a massive way to find a victory on Sunday for the Green Bay Packers. They're sitting at 5-2. I think we forget last year they're sitting at 2-5. And the uphill battle.
That's wild.
It's the inverse right now. Doesn't that sound good?
Look at that. Look at you using words right.
But thanks, brother. Where I'm going with this is I'm not out on the division. I'm not out on one seed. This is going to be a critical 2 weeks. You've got to take care of business against the Jacksonville Jaguars. You do that, you get to 6-2. Now, who the hell knows what happens on a Thursday night, Vikings at the Rams? It's just like, it's a short week after a tough loss against teams getting Cooper Kupp back. The Rams just won. That NFC West is a disaster, so the Rams are playing for their chance to be at close to the top of the division. So that's no gimme. I'm not saying the Vikings are going to lose, but that's a game in which they got to show up and play good football. But regardless, my point is, the fact that the Vikings beat the Lions is actually a good thing for the Packers. You know why? Because it brought the Vikings to a place where they now have a loss in their right-hand side in that loss category. You get a job done against the Jacksonville Jaguars. You're 6-2. Then you play the Lions, who could be 7-1. And then you're playing to have the same record as the Detroit Lions. Already, this team, when Jordan Love went down, I even 2 weeks ago was thinking, like, we might have asked this early last week. Is it just about, the wild card? Do you care about the division? Hell with that. I care about the 1 seed. And with that, I care about the division. I care about it all because I think the Packers getting that win against Houston has opened up the opportunity of being like, hey, still haven't played your best football, but if you build some more momentum, knock another win out against the Jaguars, you're facing the team that won the division last year, went to the NFC Championship game last year. Jared Goff has played really well. Your defense is trending in the right direction. It's going to be a huge test, but a test that you want to see at this point in the season to see what this team is made of.
Yeah, and the NFC in general has never been so wide open. I mean, I remember looking at teams when the Packers were good and all these years over the last 10 or 15 years where you're like, wow, I mean, the Packers are going to win the NFC North, but there are these other teams that are pretty darn good in the NFC. So the NFC in general has never been more wide open, but the NFC North has never been harder. So that's why I think you look at whoever is going to win the division, come away with the 1 seed, and you say that these are the most complete, competitive, and honestly, scary football teams in the whole NFC. That's why not only winning the division for potentially a bye, for sure home games, but what that says about the team that comes away after that melee that is playing in the NFC North. That's why we give teams that play in the SEC so much more credit, because week after week after week, you beat quality opponents. You're going to have to earn that NFC North title this year.
800-990-3776 on YouTube at ESPN Milwaukee. And when I see the ESPN Milwaukee feed, I love our guy loving football. Makes me laugh every day. I don't want to be the 1 seed. Is it better to be the 1 seed, honestly? ? Playoff home field advantage hasn't been a thing for us in a long time. And again, I don't know. I push back on that. We won the Super Bowl as the wild card. That statistically and in a single elimination playoff does not make sense. I understand that there's a fan component of that, and you saw your team win a Super Bowl that way, but Brad had the stats, and I think I could remember it. 73% of Super Bowl winners have been the 1 or 2 seed.
That's right.
That's numbers.
That's good memories right there, Ben.
You said 1 or 2 seed, though.
Yeah, well, the 1 seed is 53%, and then the 2 seed is like 23%. That's roughly 75%.
I guess with this team, they have to win the division, which will more than likely be the number 1 seed based off the way things are going.
And that's what I'm shooting for.
Yeah,
so his team has the capabilities to do it, so I'm not going to just back off.
And for record, the wild cards, the 5 seed has 4% of the time won the Super Bowl, and the 6% is also 4%. So I know we look back and say, well, we did it as a wild card for the Green Bay Packers in 2010, 2011, but we have to remember that was memorable because it was so rare. That does not happen very often. We forget about all the 1s and 2 seeds that just get to the Super Bowl and it's all chalk all the way until you play the big game. So the teams that make a run as wild cards are memorable for a reason, but we remember them and we overrepresent them. If you really want to win the Super Bowl, you should really strive to be a 1 or 2 seed, because Ben is exactly right. Roughly 75% of all Super Bowl winners are a 1 or 2 seed. So it's an easier route. It shows that you're the better team, and history is on our side of, if you want to be a Super Bowl winner, you should probably be a top seed.
Yeah, you want to be one of the top seeds, and with the way that is, the way this division is. But overall, I still stand by the fact that I don't need it to go through Lambeau in order for us to win the Super Bowl, right? When you look at it, it's only been 13 times in NFL history since they started seeding that you actually had a 1 versus 1 seed, right? And so it just shows you that you don't need to be a 1 seed in order to make it there. And so that's why there's some validity there. And then on top of that, we got to let history kind of dictate how we feel as Packers fans. And based off what we've seen in the playoffs, home field advantage hasn't been special. Now, I will say this. There seems to be something this year that is a little bit different about home field advantage. Because even the game against the Vikings that the Green Bay Packers lost, it did seem like in the second half as they got closer, fans also kind of got a little bit louder, and that's what helped this team as well. It seems like a game on Sunday where you get it at Lambeau Field, you have an opportunity to have the fans behind you able to complete that comeback. So I do think there may be a mystique that might be creeping its way back into this Green Bay Packers lore. So I'm excited about what it could be, but your guys are absolutely right. In this season, because of the way it's going to shake out, if you win the NFC North, you will have home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
800-990-3776. Kyle Bruston-Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin. And, of course, I got to tell you about Sit Mean Sit dog training because I saw some dogs out there, and you can listen to the Green Bay Game Day postgame show across ESPN Wisconsin to 620 WTMJ after the clock strikes 0 on the green and gold game. And you can hear the dog of the game with Homer and Tausch. And Sit Mean Sit is amazing. Because if you have dogs and they don't listen to you and you ask yourself, why the hell don't they listen to me? You're probably the problem. And you can look no further than Sit Mean Sit because they can help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog. Contact Sit Mean Sit Dog Training today in Milwaukee or Waukesha to schedule a free consultation. That's sitmeansit.com. Check out the Milwaukee and Waukesha pages. We'll go around the room real quickly. Your dog of the game on Sunday was who?
Rashawn Gary.
Good for you.
Oh, wow. My dog of the game has to be Brandon McManus with the great kick.
Give me Evan Williams. Stud.
He was, man, he's so good.
He's good.
So good.
Becoming relevant usually is with Alex Strofe. He decided to not let us know he was going to be on the show. So already relevant with Chris Larson is next.
This is Kyle Bruston-Nortman, KBN.
Do you wash your shins in the shower? We shower from hair to kneecap. The rest can drip down our legs to our feet.
It doesn't work that way.
No, it does work that way.
What does the poll say?
34% don't wash their shins.
That is shockingly low. KBN Nation, you're better than that.
Yeah, it sounds like we have a lot of disgusting human beings on this planet.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We got some backups on westbound 94. Now starting around 16th Street all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's a bit tight right past from 76th Street to 68th. Southbound on 43, we've got the right shoulder blocked with a broken down vehicle right at Hampton. It is going to be slow from before Hampton all the way down to Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight, partly cloudy, mild, a low of 56. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, spotty showers, breezy with a high of 72. Weather is brought to you by the Neal Group. They know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some. Why are you throwing? I don't want.
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way, I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Be greeted by an owner at America's largest employee-owned jewelry store.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank, your hometown bank. Tri-City National Bank offers a full suite of personal and business banking products at 28 convenient locations. Open your account today at the community bank that was voted Milwaukee's best bank. Learn more at tcnb.com.
It's a third straight victory for the Green Bay Packers as they take care of the Texans 24-22 on a walk-off field goal from new guy Brandon McManus. Texan stud C.J. Stroud was held to just 86 yards passing by the Packers defense. Matt LaFleur thought they were outstanding.
To hold a good team like that to 22 points, considering a couple of those drives started deep in our own territory, I thought we gave Hafley a game ball for the defensive performance.
The Packers now get ready to take on the Jaguars in Jacksonville.
This has been your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Tri-City National Bank.
First time building your own nest? Call Tri-City. We'll do the rest. Our hometown lenders will put you at ease. Your home building process will be a breeze. Tri-City National Bank. Equal housing lender. NMLS 433891.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. At Fields, we have a great selection of Range Rovers, Defenders, and Discoveries. Every model in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery. Stop by or visit online.
Plus, you'll become a member of the Fields Amenities Program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and gourmet coffee service, all at no charge. Integrity and customer satisfaction will always be the force that drives our business. To put it simply, Fields matters because you matter. At Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
This time of year can be really tough on a number of areas in your home. If you're struggling with any electrical issues, the superheroes at Current Electric are ready to help you. Chuck Smith is a Brookfield Central grad who started Current Electric over 40 years ago. His mission was to serve our community with integrity and quality. Whether it's as small as a switch repair or as large as rewiring your entire home to a generator to keep your lights on or even interest in solar energy, call on the superheroes from Current Electric. Go to callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com.
I feel so stuck.
The Veterans Crisis Line is here for you. Dial 988, then press 1 to call.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Peace up. A-Town.
A weekly pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tune into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and his son Chris, a 1995 UCLA Hoops champ himself, talk everything happening in the Bucks world and are joined by some of the biggest names in basketball, and they're answering your questions too. Stay on the beat of the Bucks and find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts. Kyle Bruston Nortman leading you into the Homer Hour with Brian Balaga at 5 o'clock. Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, Chris Larson running the show. No Strophy today. Catch us on YouTube at ESP Milwaukee. It's time now to hear from already relevant Chris Larson.
Hey, Mr. Irrelevant. It's time to become relevant. Stroph's time to shine on KBN starts now.
All right, my time to shine starts right now and already relevant. So let's kick it off here with the game last night, Sunday Night Football. The Steelers and the Jets, two Super Bowl winning quarterbacks on two different new teams now. Both quarterbacks have gotten there with some different circumstances. But for me, Russell Wilson impressed me last night. Not only did he throw for 3 touchdowns and 264 yards, but on multiple occasions, he sandwiched his body beneath the offensive line. He subjected himself to a number of hits along the offensive line to pick up short yardage gains. To me, he looked
somebody's
like a better
fangirling over here. My
you should. Give Russ his flowers
you know
now.
How many Steelers fans called for his head at halftime last night and wanted to put Justin Fields in the game? There was so many of them. But to me, Aaron Rodgers, he just looked old and hobbled. He looked like a shell of his former self.
He's old. He is old.
And it seems
he's boogers.
And it seems like to me the Steelers
I got nothing wrong with that.
Have taken Russell Wilson and implemented him into the culture of the Pittsburgh Steelers, while the New York Jets are just a group of of household name players that you know without any kind of identity. So I don't know what you guys thought about last night's game or not.
I love seeing my boy Russ cook, baby. I mean, come on, guys.
Did you send him a text?
Nah, I just let him enjoy that win.
You should say, cook, Russ, cook.
I don't need to bother him, but to see Russell Wilson
control the game, Sierra for me.
My guy Russ, and to see him dominate like that and be able to say, I'm the better quarterback than you, Aaron Rodgers, that's a thing of beauty. Thing of beauty. Oh, vintage Rush, throwing those moon balls, pooh, and they fall down right in the breadbasket.
Yeah, so I will admit that after having to subject my girl to watching the Packer game with me, where I told her she was on the phone watching videos on social media as the Packer game was happening, and I said, "Baby, can we please?" Because this is when this is after the Texans, kicked the field goal.
Can we please?
I just, it went to commercial break. I said, "Okay, all right, now." And so after that, I decided we can watch Love Is Blind. So I actually did not watch the game, but I did see highlights of it, and from the highlights, it looked like Russell played pretty well. But yeah.
So that was your roundabout way of saying I didn't watch. And I
watched highlights.
I can echo Brad and saying, you know what? I gave Russ a hard time last week.
You did. You were a hater.
Yeah,
you were a hater.
I was being a hater.
Man, he's a good guy.
He's a
I don't
great
care
guy.
if he's a good guy or not.
He's not boo-boo, though.
I thought he was going to be boo-boo out there, but George Pickens made him look good on a couple of those.
George Pickens, good receiver.
What's wrong with these receivers being head case? George Pickens is a head case, too. I just want y'all to know that.
Yeah,
Didn't he come out and say that Russell will be the starter? Like, that's how the news got out there?
Yeah.
He spilled
Tom
the
is like, we're going to keep this in-house. And he's like, why'd you get extra work with Russell? Oh, because he's starting.
I was a head case at Georgia, too. He's a head case.
Why does Tomlin let these crazy guys come in there?
Because
he's got a history of
they're 5-2.
Yeah, he's able to say,
The
listen.
Steelers are 5-2.
That's absolutely wild.
He keeps them in line.
I got
what else you got, Chris? Because enough with the Steelers. Russ cooked, and I don't want to give him too much
He's
praise.
on Wisconsin, baby.
It is.
All right, let's move on here to the Milwaukee Bucks, who open the season Wednesday in Philadelphia against the 76ers, but won't be with Chris Middleton, who's still recovering from a pair of ankle surgeries. Arthroscopic cleanups in the offseason. Doc Rivers called him day-to-day as he gets closer to returning. For me, though, that's worrisome if you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan, because he's had injury problems in the past. The last couple of years, he's only played in 55 regular season games last season, and he cost them 16 games last year. He's basically played 88 games over the past 2 seasons, and he's not played more than 70 games in a full regular season since the 2018-19 season. That's 5 years ago. So going into the season where this may be the last chance for the Bucks to win a championship with this core group of players, not good if you're a Milwaukee Bucks fan.
Wrong. As long as my man is healthy at the end of the season, that's all I care about.
I thought he had knee problems, not ankle problems.
He got everything problems.
He do.
That's rough, because he had back injuries too, right?
He's carrying the team on his back against the Pacers.
He has lower extremity injuries, obviously.
Yeah.
That's his issues. I mean, listen,
Boy.
I don't need Chris to play more than 60 games. Go ahead, rest Chris up, let them ankles get rested, let them knees get rested, because like Ben said, if we have a healthy Chris, a healthy Giannis, and a healthy Dame, that's when we actually have an opportunity.
We haven't seen what that's really like.
Should the Bucks just do like the Greg Popovich and just like literally have all those guys play 50 games and get a 7 seed?
Kind of new rules, as Sean.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But Chris has a legitimate excuse.
Yes.
He's a legitimate excuse. And so I really don't. I mean, I'm with you. I just need him to play at least 50 to 55 games and then just be ready to go during the playoffs to give us an opportunity to win a ship.
I want him to play enough. So here's the thing. If there's 50 to 55 games, I want at least 80 to 90% of those with Giannis and Dame.
Agreed.
Yeah, 100%.
That's the biggest thing. If he's going to play not all 82, I want him to play when Giannis and Dame are out there, because people are talking a lot about Giannis and Dame and what they're going to look like in year 2. They ain't going to win if Chris isn't giving them anything with what they're paying him to do.
Just think we had Bradley Beal.
Just stop.
What do you mean just stop?
Brad's old now. He just add to the oldness. Could get hurt too.
Okay.
I don't know. That'd be pretty special.
Yeah. Beal, Drew, and
not meant to
Giannis.
And let's wrap up here with already relevant with the World Series. Starts Friday between the Yankees and Dodgers. You can hear all the games right here on 94.5 ESPN. A star-studded clash that's been decades in the making. It represents the 2 largest markets in Major League Baseball. Some of the most talented players of our generation, including Aaron Judge, Shohei Ohtani, Juan Soto, Mookie Betts. It's going to be a star-studded, magnetic World Series. Are you guys interested in the World Series at all coming up? I know everybody's upset because the Brewers lost.
I am.
You excited for it?
It's been fun as hell.
Fake.
Last time.
Fake.
So because I love baseball and I love watching MLB
Brewers.
playoffs and I love the Brewers too,
Oh,
you can't tell me how to cope. And what I do know is I love baseball, and I really enjoyed even watching last night's game. You get 2 of the heavy hitters. Like I could get nerdy here. Max Muncy's been amazing. Freddie Freeman hobbling on an ankle plan. The Dodgers have 8 pitchers on the IL and had found a way to get to the World Series.
Look at that excitement. You see that excitement?
No, this is baseball.
This is the excitement.
All right, last time you did this, I hit Brad and I fake chokehold you.
We were accosted.
We were.
I love baseball. I'm excited for the World Series. Sue me.
I don't know. I mean, I guess if it's on in the background on Friday, I'll put it on. I will watch any college football or pro football game before it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly will.
I will finally indulge in baseball playoffs because I haven't been. Like I literally, me and Ben were talking about it. I don't think I've watched a single inning of the Dodgers versus the Mets.
Kyle thought the Padres were in the NFC.
He was stunned.
The Padres, are they in?
No, the last time I watched the Dodgers play was against the Padres. So I have not. I mean, yeah, I remember Pete Alonso. Something happened there where they came back and won a big game a couple days ago or whatever it is the Mets did. But I haven't been watching. I can't watch the Mets. I can't watch baseball.
Done.
I've watched. I did watch a little bit of the AL, but I couldn't watch the NL whatsoever because I had no interest in watching it. I will just dabble a little bit in the World Series.
I can't tell you.
Let's put Brad to the test here. Brad, it's Friday night. World Series Game 1, Yankees-Dodgers, or Boise State UNLV?
Give me Boise State.
Yeah, give me Ashton.
That is a lot of fun.
That boy is good.
Genty. I can't tell you the last time I watched 3 straight innings of a baseball game that wasn't the Brewers. Literally, it's probably been decades.
You guys are missing out. I love baseball.
Yeah, baseball attendance is just through the roof.
Okay, just because. Why you coming at me again?
I'm not coming at you.
Yeah, you are.
If it's the Brewers,
you're knocking my passion.
If it's Brewers, I'm all in. If it's not,
no, I'm telling you, the Brewers. This is the Brewers' fault. I used to be able to watch playoff baseball. I used to be into it, and then
it's always everyone else's fault.
No, it is. I blame the Brewers, but I still love my Brewers. My Brewers.
Well, I'm not gonna let you affect me. You're just a little troll over there. Speaking of,
there was a 20% increase in MLB playoff viewership this year as well.
Suck it, Kyle.
I ain't part of that 22% increase.
We don't want you. We don't want you. But if you want to know what's going on at all times, like Chris said, like Friday night, they got this. They're also, how about this doubleheader? The Dodgers and Yankees on Friday, Game 1 of the World Series, followed by on Fox, USC and Rutgers at 11 p.m.
Oh, USC finally figuring it out. What a
Big Ten at night.
Yeah.
it's kind of fun.
They got to go to the West Coast, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's going to be at USC.
Good for USC not having to come back.
But you got to ditch the random channel surfing with your remote and grab your phone and open the ESPN app because there is a new where to watch feature and it's a game changer. I'm telling you. With so many games on, and this is the time of year, baseball, hockey, basketball, college football, NFL, anything else that you watch, it's happening. So if you want to know what's going on, your answer's on the ESPN app to what channel, what app, what stream you need to go to get to the games. And if you want to know where the Bucks are tipping off on a Thursday night, boom, ESPN app. Need the channel for Sunday's green and gold games? Boom, you have the answer. ESPN's app, where to watch. Say goodbye to frustration. Hello to watching sports. Download the ESPN app from your app store and find the where to watch TV icon. More Kyle Brust-Nortman before we get to Brian Balaga, the Packers' future Packer Hall of Famer, in my opinion, coming up next.
This is Kyle Brust-Nortman.
These hands are not made for fixing anything in a house. I'll make a phone call, and I'm cheap, but I ain't that cheap. I got my guys. Got my handyman. Shout out to Chris. Under the table.
Just like that, dude's getting audited now.
Yeah.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Southbound on 43, we got some backups from just south of Appleton Avenue down past Capitol Drive. We've got also some delays southbound 43 from just before Hampton all the way down past Capitol. Back on the brakes from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Westbound 94, watch for delays from 25th Street all the way to about Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound's got some delays right now between Highway 164 and Highway F as well. Traffic is brought to you by Walker Media Agency. Power your brand with smart marketing, advertising, and IT solutions. Visit WMA2024.com to elevate your business today. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Partly cloudy, mild, low of 56. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, spotty showers, breezy with a high of 72. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text GIVE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text GIVE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text GIVE to 200-300. That's GIVE to 200-300. GIVE to 200-300.
How would you like to own a jewelry store? Kessler's Diamonds is an employee-owned company.
And Kessler's is growing. Are you the kind of person we're looking for?
Does it make you happy to make other people happy? Are you a problem solver?
Would you like to wake up every morning knowing that you're going to help a lot of people find joy today?
Kessler's Diamonds is people serving people. Keep in mind that Kessler's is owned by its employees. So let me ask you this. Are you a good enough leader that you can be an owner who leads other owners?
Don't worry, you don't have to know about diamonds. We can teach you about diamonds. But the people we're looking for aren't looking for a job.
Did someone pop into your head just now? Do you think you might know who we're looking for?
Give that person a call.
Send them an email. Tell them to walk into Kessler's Diamonds and say to the person who greets them,
I think I want to work here.
Welcome to Kessler's. A fantastic place to buy jewelry and a wonderful place to work.
For the store nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
How does Jordan Love make you feel? Because he makes us feel a lot of things. I'll tell you that much. Makes Packer fans feel a lot of things. I know he does. 800-990-3776. We asked this question earlier, and I want to get anyone new into the conversation. When Jordan Love drops back to pass, you feel what? What are you feeling when he drops back to pass? Because I feel stimulated. Brad, what are you feeling?
I feel exhilarated. It's exciting. You never know what's going to happen. Part of exhilaration is the likely of good things coming, but there's a little bit of risk involved. There's a little bit of a chance that there's a little something on the other side of it, like an interception that'll be negative. So that exhilaration, boy, it makes me feel alive. Anything can happen when Jordan Love is back there at quarterback.
You know, Brad, we like this because as I was writing down here, I said entertaining, a rush of feeling just amazing, and then I'm going to say feeling alive. And you said that because honestly, it feels like you're taking a good drug. You know what I'm saying? It feels like you're taking a good drug when you watch them play. Like you're just oh my gosh, this is amazing. And
but not without its side effects.
Yeah, without the side effects that they say you may have. But so my overall thing is just, Brad.
The side effects are interceptions.
Yes, that is the negative thing. But overall, you're absolutely right, Brad. I'm so sorry. It's just when you said that, I'm like, man,
it's like a good drug.
Yeah, it is like a good drug. We're like this,
yes,
man.
Yes, we are. And maybe we're coloring it a little bit positively because I think some people are like, this is the quarterback existence you want to live with. Like,
oh, Jamie and Orlando on that. I want to go. Just curious if Kyle thinks Jay Love is worth the $55 million a year.
I never said he wasn't. I
think he's just asking you a question.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Jordan Love is proving right now that he is – Jason already said it, and I've already gone on record saying he's going to be a Hall of Famer one day. But with that, he's playing phenomenally, right? There are some negatives in his game that he needs to clean up. We all understand that. But each and every Sunday, do you guys know that he had a streak of, I think, 12 straight games of 2 touchdown passes or more?
Wow.
That's ridiculous. It's going back to last year. That is absolutely ridiculous when a guy goes out there and he can throw multiple touchdown passes in a game, and it's the expectation. We are watching greatness unfold in front of our eyes, and this is something we all should appreciate. And the great thing about Jordan Love is that we know that he is not even scratching the surface of how great he can be, because we understand once he cleans up some of these negative things, once he becomes a better decision maker, he is going to be greatness, pure greatness. We talked about how great it is to watch, Pat Mahomes out there with the Chiefs. He's not as creative as Pat Mahomes, but he has some spectacular, just something in him that makes you just feel confident about him.
Well, here's what I will say real quick to paint a little picture here. Patrick Mahomes through 6 games, 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He has an 82.5 quarterback rating. And Jordan Love has 15 touchdowns, 8 interceptions with a 94.1 quarterback rating. And why I find this fascinating is because I actually don't want to make an excuse for Patrick Mahomes here. Right? Jordan Love last year didn't have Travis Kelce and Rashi. I know Travis Kelce was down last year, he's on the way up, but he's always had guys that they continue to bring in and bring in and bring in and bring in.
Turn out to be really good wide receivers.
And Andy Reid's a great coach, but Jordan Love's doing this with a lot of young guys too. And so just when I pulled up the interception thing, Jordan Love's next to Mahomes, Gardner Minshew, Aaron Rodgers, Kirk Cousins, Will Levis, Andy Dalton, Brock Purdy.
What a list. What a list.
What a wild list.
I mean, think about the $55 million. A Jordan Love-led football team, they can beat anybody. You have confidence going that you can beat any team that you play. That doesn't mean you're going to, but you have the chance to when you have a guy like Jordan Love leading a quarterback, and he can win a Super Bowl. That's all you have to do. I mean, that's saying a lot to get that kind of money. So there are 25 other teams that would trade anything for Jordan Love and inherit that contract track. So, yeah, he's absolutely worth it. And he's got to clean some stuff up, but you always have a chance with him at quarterback against anybody, and you can win a Super Bowl with him. That equals franchise quarterback, pay him whatever you want.
Before we get to Steven Sheboygan, I do want to read this. 29th in completion percentage. Above him are some really nasty names. Spencer Rattler in 2 games. Aiden O'Connell in 4 games. Skylar Thompson in 2 games. Gardner Minshew in 6 games. Joe Flacco in 3 games. Andy Dalton in 6. Will Levis with 5. There's some ugly names, and now completion percentage and everything. But he's got to get away from that 61.5%. I just like reading the names because it's kind of funny to see who's on these lists. Yeah. Steven Sheboygan, 800-990-3776. Tell me your worries.
Interceptions. I mean, he's averaging, 1.2 interceptions a game. He's got 8 for the year already. How many did he have last year? I think last year he had 11 or 12 or 13 or something like that. And he's got to stop throwing off his back foot. I mean, he's got a quarterback coach. Isn't it a coach telling him this shit? Sorry.
I appreciate the call. See you later, alligator. And
hey, you know what?
Back in action here on Kyle Brust and Nortman.
But that's the thing is that people think about throwing off the back foot. That is something that you want him to clean up, but also that might just be who he is, right? That might be part of his mentality that he's going to throw some off the back foot. I can actually live with that, right? I just need to live with the fact that when he does throw off the back foot, hopefully he has a receiver that's running under the football and it's not all the way up in the air, floating up in the air for anybody to go get. Back foot ain't the issue. It's part of the issue, but that decision-making of when I'm throwing off my back foot, who am I throwing the ball to?
Well, I get it. I mean, and if he gets rid of this interception bug and gets closer to back to who he was at the end of the year last year, he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, bar none. And you have to look at Jordan Love and say, this guy's a coachable player. Think of how far he's come since 2020 when they drafted him. Even 2022 when he got a couple of glimpses of real playing time in 2021. Dude's a completely different quarterback. So between Matt LaFleur, Tom Clemens, his own ability, our boy Stevie Calhoun, his quarterback's coach, our boy, friend of the show, there are so many people, and himself just being a driven, competitive young man. He will get better. He will correct these things. And everything is there, though, for him to be a complete quarterback and minimizing these things that are negative. So we all agree, yeah, you'd like to throw less interceptions. But on the same side, he throws some magnificent passes that just make you drop your jaw.
800-990-3776. Baker Mayfield's playing better than Jordan Love. I mean, we can definitely cherry pick right now, 7 games through the season. I think this is going to be a really fun stretch with Jordan Love, with the Lions, the Bears, the Niners, and hopefully he can, maybe give himself a nice little pat the stats here against the Jaguars.
But here's the question I'd ask. Would you rather have Baker Mayfield or Jordan Love at quarterback?
No, we already know
this year and for 5 years.
Well, it's funny. I kind of wanted to put out a poll blind resume-wise. Right?
Blind resumes, that only shows you so much, right? You have to be able to watch the guy and see the guy to know that he has it. He is him. And Jordan Love is him.
You didn't even give me a chance to say what the blind resume.
Defend Jordan Love.
No, I think Jordan Love would win this.
Okay,
then put it out there.
Relax,
then put it
man.
out there.
Yeah, put that energy out there. All positivity for Packer
Your
Nation,
propaganda is off the roof today.
During Monday.
So although Jordan Love's completion percentage is only 61.5%, he's averaging 270 yards per game, 15 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. You look at Patrick Mahomes, 67% completion percentage. He's 231.5 yards per game, 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. You put those stat lines next to each other, I don't know who's clicking Mahomes' numbers.
Yeah, you're not. And that's where
I know there's more to it. I just want to paint the picture, although it was a rocky road, and sometimes it might make us go, there's a lot of good that comes with the bad.
Well, and look at Joe Burrow's numbers. Okay, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. This is why it's a team game. And what are they, 1-4? I mean,
they just won.
Okay, 2-4. So there's so much more that goes into it. What does your team need in the moment? What do you do down the stretch when it matters? So stats paint a picture, but they don't tell the whole thing. This is coming from a stats guy.
Yeah, you are a stats nerd, and I'm a sportsbook nerd, and that's why I go to Potawatomi Casino Hotel for the best sports betting experience. Potawatomi Sportsbook has dozens of self-service kiosks, seating for over 200. Their restaurant, dubbed The Kitchen, is amazing. Amazing, amazing. A full bar, a VIP deck, and a broadcast booth, which we will be at on Wednesday, which, of course, we love because they're just the hospitality is top class. The most impressive thing, though, when we walk in, I get there early, so I can watch on the 2,000 square foot video wall. And in a major move, if you want to use your rewards card, you can do that to help bet on games with your favorite sports and earn reward points along the way. That's a winning play. Bet above the rest. Learn more at paysbig.com/sportsbook. Coming up next is Brian Balaga, the doctor of football, leading you in to the Homer Hour.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
I said, baby, we got to do more sucking. And so I called the company. I said, listen, y'all put this thing in here. Y'all need to come on
ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com. The Homer Hour with special guests every day from 5 to 6.
Right now, they'd be a toss-up with the herd.
People just don't know how funny mean you are.
Come on.
Well, I mean, that's mean, but it's funny, and the funny trumps the mean, and so you laugh.
But there might be some truth to that.
Of course there's some truth to it.
The Homer Hour with Homer, weekdays from 5 to 6, right here on 94.5 ESPN and streaming live on YouTube.
It's bird bashing season when you swoop into Potawatomi. Thursdays, you could win up to a wicked 50 grand cash in the Bird Bash Game Show. Just play with your rewards card all October for entries. All Bird Bash entries go towards a December 20th giveaway with a monstrous 300 grand in prizes. Bird Bash makes its bewitching return. Only at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. Learn more at paysbig.com/birdbash. Must be 21 years old to play.
The kick is up and wide left.
Why don't they customize the goalposts? Make them wider.
Gina Della from Pella? How'd you get into the booth?
And why just yellow? Add some green stripes.
Sure, Gina. Should they also remove the G at midfield and paint a Pella crest?
Okay, Wayne, you can't customize a football game to go the way you want, but Pella can customize your home the way you want.
Right now, get 0% interest for 60 months.
Visit PellaWI.com.
Hold your appointment on or before November 8th. Certain restrictions apply.
An ESPN Radio Extra Point with Evan Cohen, Chris Canty, and Michelle Smallman.
I don't know how many more firework opportunities they think that they're going to get. And by that, I mean you fire Rob Saleh, and you think that there's going to be a spark all of a sudden everyone is going to stand up a little straighter. Oh boy, our coach got fired. We better get our act together. And then they lose. They bring in Devontae Adams, spark. Oh, finally, we got this big weapon. He can help us on offense. That's been the difference in some of these games. We've been losing by small margins, 10 combined points in 3 games. Devontae Adams will be the difference. And then he's not. And then you don't win. I don't think they have many more tricks in their bags. They're going to have to find it internally. And based on what we're seeing, the state of the team, I don't know if they can.
With all them sparks, they about to burn the damn house down. That's what's happening. Usually when you start talking about a spark, it's a good thing. But in the case of Aaron Rodgers and any team that he plays on, it's going to lead to them burning the house down.
Halloween is just around the corner, but Huluween is here. Hulu is the streaming home to fresh fall releases that'll creep under your skin, like Immaculate starring Sydney Sweeney, FX's American Horror Stories, the new thriller film Hold Your Breath starring Sarah Paulson, and FX's chilling horror thriller Grotesquerie. So snuggle into your couch with a pumpkin spice latte and watch all your scary favorites. Turn your Halloween into Huluween and stream till you scream on Hulu.
Lowe's knows that to win the job, pros need the best prices. That's why only at Lowe's, MVP's Pro Rewards members can get a volume discount on eligible orders as low as $1,500 at the Pro Desk. That means you get the prices you need to start any job, small or large. Because Lowe's knows pros. Valid in-store only. More terms and restrictions apply. Visit Lowe's.com/terms or Pro Desk for details.
The 23rd annual A Novel event is coming. Sharp Literacy's yearly fundraiser will happen on October 30th from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Pfister Hotel. The program will feature a presentation with Code Baby CEO Nori Daroga and elementary students, dinner and a voice auction. Funds raised at A Novel event will support the delivery of Sharp STEAM-based education programs to thousands of K-3 through 5th graders and educators across the Milwaukee, Waukesha, and Racine areas. Find tickets to October 30th's A Novel event at sharpliteracy.org. This is Kyle Bruston Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
I've got some famous friends you probably never heard of, but back in Rutherford County, our crowd is
Kyle Bruston Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin with Brian Balaga, the former Packer, joining us here, getting you into the Homer Hour. What's up, Brian?
How we doing, guys?
It's a Victory Monday. It's a good day for the Green Bay Packers and Packer fans alike. It was an intriguing one. I think this Packer team deserves a lot of credit, and at the end of the day, you found a way to get to 5-2, and if you can get to 6-2 by taking care of business, you probably, even though it sucks, like you have 2 teams ahead of you, the Lions beating the Vikings may give them an opportunity to be tied for first place potentially when they play them. So things are looking up in my world. How's it looking in yours?
Yeah, I'm with you. Listen, you got to be happy walking away from a game like that. Listen, we were playing a good football team in the Texans, but boy, I mean, that was some sloppy football, especially offensively from the Packers. And to be able to play that way, not their best game by any stretch of the imagination, and beat a good football team like that. I get it. It was at the last second. It was a new kicker, which was amazing to see. They got it done against a good team, right? Like that's what we saw against Minnesota, where first half was god-awful, but then they fought back, and just at the end they couldn't get it done. Well, this was a neck-and-neck game with a really good team, and they were able to get it done in the end. So, this is like, I remember a few weeks ago against the Rams, I was a little critical about the win. Yeah, it was a win, but I mean, you're playing the Rams like that. It shouldn't look that way. I understand going against another good football team that these are the type of games that they're going to be. They're going to be close. You're not blowing out other good teams. You're going to have to win these tight ones, and they showed they can do it against a high quality opponent. And to me, it's certainly looking up. Absolutely.
Yeah, so Brian, you're kind of feeling how I am, and I'm sure most former players feel this way, but I was thinking, they played a very flawed game, the Green Bay Packers, -3 in the turnover ratio, and just a lot of things that didn't go their way, but they still got the win against a good team. I think there's a whole camp of people that said, well, they played really bad, I feel crummy, and this is sort of, they got lucky that they ended up winning. I take a completely different stance. When you play that badly, and you get a win against a good team, That's positive for the year. That's what championship level teams do. So you walk away feeling good that they played bad and still got the win, right? Not necessarily, they played bad and got lucky.
Yeah, no, I don't look at it as a play bad and got lucky. I don't think there's anything lucky about that game, especially when you're -3 in the turnover. That means something. Another part of that game had to go really well, and that was the defensive side of the ball. They played really well. I get it. What was it? What they give up 21 points? I mean, you give up 21 points to the Houston Texans. You played a good game defensively. That's a really explosive offense with a ton of playmakers.
A lot of short fields too.
Yeah, they did the first drive. What a tone setter for our defense to be, what were they, inside the 15?
11 twice.
Field goal, 11 twice. So, our defense played fantastic. So, yeah, while there's always a sloppy part of a game when you see that turnover margin and kind of the points we put up, there's a positive to that, and that was our defense. Our defense showed what they're about, and that was a really refreshing thing to see.
Yeah, Brian, how do we figure out this Jordan Love thing? Because I love me some J Love, but how do we get him to be more, not as reckless in the pocket and making some of those poor decisions when he does throw those interceptions? How do they overall clean that up, Matt LaFleur?
Yeah, listen, I think that's a film study thing, and that's a learning thing. We still have to remember he's played, 1 year plus some playoff games, and now 7 games of his NFL career. I get he had
I
that
agree.
start
I just want a quick follow-up with you here. When do we get to not say that?
Yeah, I think we could maybe talk like that next year. He's still a young starter in this league. He's still going to make these kind of mistakes and figure out his way. And sometimes the best thing you need, especially I know as a veteran player, I got it, is that scar tissue, man. Something's burnt you so many times that it's just the scar tissue's built up and you're just not going to do it again. And that's kind of what he's going through right now as this young quarterback. But while he's making these mistakes that I'm sure he and LaFleur and Steno and Tom Clements are going over in the film room, he's also doing a lot of really good things, right? This would be a different story if he was just turning the ball over and there really wasn't much else happening, right? we'd be having a different discussion. But he's aggressive. Yeah, mistakes are happening right now, but he's also very productive. So, right now, I'm not that, concerned about it. Yeah, some of these picks he's throwing, dude, you just can't do it. And LaFleur kind of hinted at that after that Rams game, right? That big throw down the sideline to Reed that he caught that probably should have been picked. It wasn't picked, there was a whole kind of thing that week about talking about his decision making. Well, kind of carried over into this week still a little bit. And those are things that they're still going to have to address and talk about and go through. But I'll take some of these mistakes from him right now and think he's going to build off this and learn from this and grow. That's the way I'm looking at it right now. So I'm just not that concerned.
You got something for a home?
He throws as many touchdown passes as he's throwing per game, per pass. As he's doing now, he can continue to throw as many interceptions as he's throwing per pass, and he will be the MVP. He is performing at an MVP level because he is throwing so many touchdown passes per pass. He is playing at an MVP level.
Your response,
So
Brian.
we agree. So then we agree
totally
that we're not that worried about the picks right now.
No,
it's not something that
if you can keep throwing the same percentage of touchdown passes, keep throwing all the.
It's an unbelievable rate. The guy, the Packers win games. He throws at least 2 to 3 touchdowns.
He
it's
is
insane.
Performing like Brett Favre did when he won the MVP. And people need to know too about this Brett Favre garbage. When Brett Favre won the MVP, he wasn't throwing many interceptions. The 1 year it was 33-13.
Powerful.
So, but this is why he's the doctor of football.
He's good.
He doesn't need to change. Now, we all know you throw that many interceptions, your teams tend to struggle.
And you want to clean it up.
Yeah.
But the
Hard to
point
get
is,
wins.
he is throwing so many touchdown passes.
Brian Balaga joining us here before the Homer Hour. And Brian, we all answered this question in different ways. When Jordan Love drops back to pass, you feel blank. I said stimulated. Brad said exhilarated. And
stimulated?
Yeah, my body's getting ready for something fun to happen.
You know what that
Does
means.
that mean something different to me than it does to
Hey,
him?
everybody know what it means, man.
Kyle said he feels thoroughly
You don't
entertained.
feel stimulated.
Hey.
That's between me and my body.
Wait, he just said, I'm telling you no. Not even close.
Brian, how do you feel when Jordan Love drops back?
I mean, very calm. I feel calm about it. Yeah,
Even with these interceptions, you're not like a little bit edge of the seat.
No, not really. I feel good about him as a quarterback. I really do. Like, I get these picks are happening, but like I said, like I'm not that worried about it because like you can kind of see as he's moving around in the pocket and things start to break down where these potential mistakes have happened, right? Like, so he just doesn't throw picks sitting comfortably in the pocket. It's not his thing. Like he's too smart and he's an accurate quarterback. He gets in trouble when he's moving around and he's trying to make the hero throw a little bit and he makes some mistakes on it. So like most of the time he is not like moving around in the pocket and doing, trying to create something. He's comfortably back there. And when he's back there and he's on time and he doesn't have guys at his feet and a bunch of pressure, I count on him to throw strikes all the time.
Brian, real quick before you get to the Homer Hour, how impressive was Jeff Hafley's blitz scheme on Sunday?
I liked it. It was really good. It was a really good game plan and scheme. He kept the Texans and C.J. Stroud guessing the whole game. I mean, it was very well done and executed by Hafley. Hats off to the Packers, D.C., baby.
Yeah.
That's our
Well
doctor
said,
of
Brian.
football, Brian Balaga. I mean, when you look at it, under 100 yards for C.J. Stroud. I don't think that's been talked about
era
enough.
of football.
That's not talked about enough.
That guy.
Yep.
Brian will be listening to you on the way home.
All right, guys. Appreciate you.
I like where Homer's head's at, man. The touchdown per pass ratio is out of this world since the back half of last year.
Yeah, I don't think, and Homer doesn't know the stats of Homer. This is why people feel so comfortable. He was when they were trailing against the Texans, 19-25, 173 passing yards, 3 touchdown passes, 133 passer rating. That's why we feel so good.
And Homer will react to a whole lot more with Brian Balaga in 2 minutes. Don't you go anywhere.
Delays along westbound 94 from about 25th Street all the way through the